Hello, and welcome to episode 11 of From Dust. It has been 2 weeks. It has been many more weeks since we had the whole cast, but we're here. We made it. We did it. Huzzah. Just in time for a total fucking disaster. But before we get into the recaps and all of that, I just want to chill for a second. I want to do some check-in, see how y'all are doing. Summer, you just flew back in today? Yes?
Yes, I did.
How are you feeling?
I'm so tired. We left the house at 4 a.m. PST.
Ooh.
So, and I've been on planes all day and in airports, and it was a day. So, but I'm finally home. It's so nice. We moved the week before I left for home. And so now I actually get to be here and settle in and fix this disaster behind me and finish unpacking. I would say 2/3 of my clothes are still in just giant boxes somewhere.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. We basically moved in. I opened a box. I took some clothes out of it, put them in a suitcase, and left. Left my husband to unpack for me, which he did a pretty good job. But yeah, no, it was a really good break. But there's no place like home. I'm ready to just kind of be here, and I'm so psyched to sleep in my own bed. It's insane.
Yeah.
With my humidifier. I'm such a baby. I need it.
Oh, man. Well, it's nice to see you back in your element and not sitting on the floor.
I don't even want to talk about it. My legs hurt so bad because I did so many, not so many, 2 or 3 streams sitting on my floor. And I would just lay in bed and my whole, my hips and my legs would just be dying. And I was like, this wasn't meant for me. I wasn't meant for the floor, apparently. But
floor life is not for you.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm in a chair now.
Yeah.
I'm getting my new desk on Monday. I'm so
Nice.
fucking pumped. Just so it's all good. It's totally fine.
Awesome. Well, good to have you back just in time to shoot some people. Speaking about being back just in time, Jess, how have you been? How are your holidays? That's right, the holidays just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah? Good talk?
I saw family. They don't live far away. They live 5 minutes away, so it's not really that amazing.
Fair.
I see them when I see them. It's fine. Yeah, and I don't really celebrate too much just because it's a hassle. But holidays notwithstanding, I'm good. I have played some games, I think. I don't...
Didn't you play a game earlier today?
Yes, I was in a Ryutama one-shot today run by my wonderful, delightful member of my little triad of magical girls. I played the complete polar opposite of the boy I play on this channel for Ryutama. A very wholesome stable boy who is a farmer named Farron, who had a giant crush on the princess whose birthday party they were trying to save. It was very fucking cute.
Adorable. We got to see some super cute mule last week.
We did.
That's true.
We did. We saw him before he became a jaded, terrible boy.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It feels like that just
ouch.
happened, but I can't believe it was a week ago.
It feels like it was a million years ago to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it was this morning.
I feel like time has folded. That's why when you ask me the "what have you been up to this week" question, I'm like,
What was this week?
What happened?
what did happen this week? I don't know.
What will I have been up to? Yeah.
Bleh.
I feel
It was
it.
fine. It's been fine. Bleh.
Well, hopefully, as Summer and Kina have said in chat tonight, we'll also be fine. We'll see.
I've realized my mug is not suited for this stream right now. You can scream.
Whoops!
No,
It's
it's
the
perfect.
invisible mug.
It's amazing. I was like, what are you talking about? It matches your background perfectly.
Yeah, whoops. I didn't
Yeah.
think that one through very well. I'm sorry.
The trick is to wear like green clothes and just be a floating head.
I mean, I'm wearing black, so it's pretty close on this background.
Kiana, from the multicolored cave. How are you? How are things? How are your holidays? Ooh.
It's good. Yeah, as you notice, my background's different because I'm back home for the holidays. So I have hijacked my brother's closet. Well, I have a closet in my brother's studio. So that's what I've set up, and there's fancy RGB lights happening in the background. So it's fun times. But yeah, it's been good. It's nice to see some family and some friends that I normally don't see, and sleep. Because sleep was not a thing that I had during finals.
Mm-hmm.
So now that that's done, I can sleep in for once, which is nice. I enjoy sleep. Yeah, snooze needs to catch up on those snooze. But other than that, playing some games. Schedule had been all over the place because holidays, but I've been running my Bluebeard Brides games, which have been super great. They've been so good. And I've been commissioning portraits of each bride that had been played. So that way they can hang in Bluebeard's home. So that's been super fun.
Ooh, creepy.
Yeah, they're so good. The portraits are so good. I'm waiting on the work in progress on the second one, and I'm very excited. But yeah, they've been very good games. It's really fun to fuck my friends up with creepy shit.
It is fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someone did get to smooch, despite my best efforts.
Aw.
I didn't ask permission. I just did it.
Oh my God, Summer.
Surprise.
She smooched the horror that was trying to drown her.
And it worked.
I mean, yes.
You rolled well
I
enough.
smooched so good that it killed somebody for me.
Holy fuck.
Damn.
So
That is quite a smooch.
yeah.
Yep, it was certainly a smooch. And it happened again in the second game, and I'm like, God damn it.
How
And
very
we're gonna get a
Summer.
smooch today because I'm finally gonna be reunited with my wife. Oh, I'm sorry, fiance. We're not technically married yet.
Okay.
That wasn't a no.
I don't have a segue. Adam, how have your holidays been? How are you?
Oh, it was lovely. Thank you, Dylan. Got to see family I haven't seen in a while. I got to see friends I haven't gotten to see in a while. So all in all, a pretty terrific week for me, and my first holiday married. So that's awesome. That adds a whole new
Yeah.
thing to it. I'd call it my favorite in a while. Not that there's anything wrong with the rest, just it adds a whole new thing to it. And I got lots of tabletop games and D&D stuff, so I'm really thrilled about that.
Sweet.
Because Christmas is about getting stuff.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, Christmas for me this year was about getting myself stuff.
Nice.
Because Kickstarter funding came in like 2 days before Christmas, so I got to pay the artists. It was fantastic. I already got a sketch in from one of them, and oh my god, Become is going to be such a beautiful fucking game. I can't share the work in progress yet, but I'm very excited. And then the parts that went to paying me for my work went to getting new computer parts, which I'm not going to get too into because Amazon has been having a fucking struggle getting me my stuff. And if I dwell on it too long, we will not have a show. So let's breeze past that. But once all the stuff is here, I'm very excited because it's going to be a pretty big upgrade for my computer, and hopefully by extension these streams will be a lot smoother. I'll be able to do more and fancier stuff. So I'm very, very excited for that. And my sister came out here for the holidays, and she brought her cat, or kitten, I should say, who is the fucking cutest, and like, I don't remember exactly how old she is, but I don't think she's at a half year yet. I don't think she's up to 6 months yet. So fucking cute, so curious, wants to climb everything, but also like hella chill. Like, you could just pick her up and she'd be like, okay, this is what's happening now. Like, when she'd fall asleep, her paws would just go completely limp so that you could like you could move her paws, and it was it was the cutest. So yeah, my holidays were pretty good. And I'm pretty heckin' stoked to get back to this, because we left on kind of a big cliffhanger. And I imagine it's been eating at the two of you a little more than it's been eating at me, but it has been sort of gnawing at the back of my mind. Like, how are you gonna get out of this situation? Or how are Arrow and Vori going to get you out? And honestly, like, I'm not saying this for showmanship, just straight up, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm going into this essentially blind. So, chat, I'm buckling up into the roller coaster with you, and we'll see where this goes. Are we ready to do some recap and get to it?
Oh, hell yeah.
I need to know what happened.
Yeah,
so.
I did watch the beginning of the episode, but I don't know where it went wrong.
Yeah.
I definitely did not watch it. I don't have time. Sorry. I love you, but I don't.
Let's see if I can recall. I remember what happened toward the end of the episode, but let's see if I remember everything. Vori bailed early on in the morning to go try and get rid of his guard that he had accidentally charmed into staying with him at all times. Arrow was off bumming about and presumably moping or being in nature or something like that. And so Farron and Gregor decided to head out and do some shopping, because they wanted to get out of town pretty much as soon as possible. Farron had an invitation, I think, to work, to perform at the Duke's Daughters, the Ducal Princesses. I need a title for that, because Duke's Daughter birthday party is too many steps. He got invited to perform at the party in 2 days' time, I think it was. So they went and did some shopping so that they would be stocked up for when the party decided to leave. While they were out on the town, though, Gregor saw a familiar face that he wasn't happy to see. He saw a woman by the name of Olga that he recognized from his somewhat checkered past. So he grabbed Farron and pulled the two of them inside this herbalist shop to try and hide, while Olga went by and sort of deflected Farron's questions a little bit more than Farron was really looking for. But once they were in the clear from Olga, they went to the Ducal Palace to show, or for Farron to declare that yes, they would be working and performing at this party, where they met the new Chamberlain, who was not racist, which is nice, but also not. I mean, she still works for the Duke, so she's got some royalist feelings, and it's definitely some feelings about adventurers, I believe she said, and how they wanted chaos. Well, the royalty was all about order, so fun times that. On their way back, sort of meandering through town, heading back toward the Tilted Turn, however, they ran into Olga again in an alleyway with two other thugs, and the three of them had their backs to Farron and Gregor, and they had cornered a mysterious hooded woman. Gregor stood there for a moment. Farron was like, let's fucking go, but Gregor's conscience got the better of him, and they started a fight that they could not win. They put up a valiant effort, Gregor specifically managing to keep himself out of harm's way for the fight, but Farron, being less adept at such close quarters combat, got pretty fucking brutalized before being pinned to the wall with a magical sword to their throat, and then knocked out. Olga tried to knock Farron out. Farron managed to retain consciousness, but feigned unconsciousness, while Gregor gave up his weapon, Skullbreaker, and allowed himself to be captured. The two of them were taken out of town. Farron dumped in a ditch off the side of the road, presumably to bleed out, maybe survive. And Gregor was then taken on to a very familiar fortress, a bandit fortress built in a ravine surrounded by forest, a couple hours from two rivers. Farron, rising from his feigned lack of consciousness, stood up and managed to trace the strange party toward to the fortress. Gregor managed to pry some information out of his captors. Olga mentioned that Bruno, who is the leader of these bandits that Gregor was once a part of himself, Bruno had done something horrible, and in so doing become a demon. But he had retained his consciousness, his mind. He hadn't turned into an animal like the demons that the party saw back in Rookdale, which sort of struck Gregor as odd. But Olga also revealed that the hooded woman was herself a demon who had similarly kept her consciousness, but, according to Olga, had the curious ability to draw the sins out of people and absolve them of the corruption they had brought on themselves. Summer's face journey is so good through all of this. Gregor was then brought to the main hall, where he met Bruno, who was much larger and more demonic than when Gregor had last seen him. Farron, ever the consummate negotiator, sort of strolled up to the front gate and negotiated his way inside with one of the bandits to be brought to Bruno in hopes of negotiating Gregor's release. Bruno then gave a bit of a speech about the nature of friendship and family, interrogating Farron on the exact nature of their relationship to Gregor, who Bruno considers family. And Bruno declared that true friendship requires sacrifice. So if Farron wanted Gregor to go free, Farron would have to stay behind and serve Bruno as sort of a strategist and, in a sense, a PR specialist. And Farron agreed. But Gregor, being Gregor, refused to leave. So where we left off last time, both of them had willingly chosen to stay in this bandit camp, as Bruno called Farron to a place of honor beside him to speak of Bruno's plans and how Farron and Gregor could help. So, as our previously on fades, and we come into our episode tonight, we come to Vorial. Vori, you spent the better part of today running all over Two Rivers, trying to shake this fucking dedicated guard.
Yep.
And then once you got rid of her, breaking the enchantment.
Sweet girl.
The sun is just now fading over the sea, or actually, which way does the sun go? It's not Earth. It fades over the sea here. And the orange hues bathe the city. You step through the front door of the Tilted Turn, and I think you see Arrow there. Arrow, you got in a couple minutes ago, but you haven't seen Farron or Gregor. You see Vori coming in. What do the two of you do?
Yeah, he just turns and looks at Vori and kind of gives a nod. I'm sorry. I'm reeling from this recap that we've just How can I just pretend like I didn't hear all of that just now?
I'm still trying to figure out how that happens when we're gone and when they're gone. We
I'm
just go
scared
shopping.
for what's going to happen right
Drunk
now.
and went shopping. Yeah.
I mean, we went shopping too. Just
No,
shit
no,
sure.
you can't.
Sure.
No,
I
you
only
can't say
wanted-
that.
You did.
Yeah, I will say Arrow and Vori's encounter with vagabonds in an alleyway went, well, a lot better for them.
That's true. We definitely just scared them right off.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Did we kill them? I don't
forgot
remember.
that happened. We
We-
wasted. It's fine.
Yeah, that's true. We canonically, Vori doesn't remember exactly how that ended, but they walked away. It's fine.
Out of game, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but it's fine. They left. Yeah. So we're totally chill here.
Uh-huh.
Arrow's chilling in the bar.
Vori looks like he's probably had quite the walk about town. Because he literally did. Where's everybody else? Off tending business?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen him today.
You know, never mind. I think I need a drink first.
Where have
He's
you
just
been?
going to spill some coin on the counter and just be like, I don't care what. Whatever the drink of the night is, I want it.
Very well.
I was, getting rid of, Tagalong.
Yeah. She seemed pretty stuck on you.
Yes, well, that's, I have that effect on people sometimes. Not exactly that effect I was going for, but so be it.
There's a loud clunk on the bar as a large tankard of mead is slid toward you.
Thank you. You are a gentleman. He just upends it for a good minute before setting it back down. Well, she's out of the way. She'll eventually go back to whatever she was doing before, being a guard or something. And the sooner we get out of this city, the better for all of us, I think. It would be great to find our friends and go.
Yeah, I guess we could leave as early as tonight, but at the latest tomorrow.
I wouldn't be in too much of a rush. You're friends with the bard, yes?
That's correct.
This being the barkeep. Well, they left this morning in a bit of a rush to go accept an invitation to perform for the Duke.
Oh, lovely.
When was that performance supposed to be?
Well, I would never read a patron's mail, but I got the impression it was in around 2 days.
You think
Whatever.
they could still be there?
Who,
They
me?
left this morning.
I don't know them. You're friends.
In a
Everyone
manner of
takes the
speaking.
coins from the bar.
Well, are you going to run off into the forest again, or shall we go look for them?
We can go look for them if you think it would be worth our time, but they're bound to come back here eventually.
Well, at any rate, I've got a drink to finish first. I'll think about it while I do that.
Maybe they'll come back before you finish.
I don't think they're that quick.
I think that's a good time to cut over to Farron and Gregor, I don't think the two of you have really had a chance to speak with each other since Farron's grand gesture and Gregor's less grand but equally meaningful gesture. But the evening has drawn on, the hour grows late, and you have both been sort of released from this space to go turn in for the night. And I think Rupert is probably leading you, Gregor, away toward sort of the barracks area. But Farron, Bruno instructed Olga to take you to a separate area, which is closer to Bruno's personal chambers. So I think the two of you sort of see each other as you are led out the front doors of this great hall, but are still not given the opportunity to speak. You can just sort of share a meaningful look of some kind. What does that look like for each of you?
Gregor just looks dead inside.
Ooh.
Farron has like narrowed eyes and like one eyebrow raised. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing?
And the two of you are sort of led to opposite ends of the compound. I wanna follow you first, Gregor. So you're led off toward another fairly large building. This one taller. It's clearly got multiple floors to it. And you, I don't know. Do you have memories of this place? Was there a barracks the last time you were here, or were sleeping arrangements different before you left?
I imagine we probably had one, but it probably was not quite so grand back then.
Mm-hmm. So what memory strikes you as you draw up to the threshold of this building? What memory do you remember, or do you recall with Rupert when you were here before?
No, I don't think I asked. I guess what's Rupert's like age compared to Gregor's?
I think they're about the same age. I think they're pretty much peers. Rupert might be like a few years older.
Mm-hmm. So Gregor's gonna have a flashback to when he was like 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like getting pulled into this place and getting shown around. And maybe Rupert just being like, hey, this is your new home. You got everything you need here. Kind of a good memory for Gregor.
Yeah. So I think actually we see that, and then like Rupert claps you on the back and says, "This is your new home, Gregor. You'll find everything you need here. Better yet, you'll find everything's a lot better than the last time you were here. Latrine, no longer a ditch. Actually serviced."
That is an upgrade. Wow.
Come on and sit.
I'm sold.
I'll introduce you to some of the new faces.
Yeah, that sounds terrific.
Are you just sort of like coasting by here, or what's Gregor looking to get out of this? Are you just trying to like make it through to a point where you can sleep, or are you trying to strategize? What's going on?
Probably a little bit of both. Gregor's definitely exhausted by all of this, but he knows he really can't get close to Farron. He can't do anything right now, so the best thing he can do is honestly probably go with the flow and observe as much as he can and learn as much as he can. See if anything proves useful to him.
Okay. Do you want to try and read a situation while you're being introduced to people?
I would love to read.
Or, sorry, I think that's Apocalypse World. Discern realities.
I would love to discern.
Ooh, the good rolls continue. All right, you get to ask 3 questions, and you don't have to ask them right now.
Right.
I'll let you just ask them about the camp in general as you would like to. So do you have any questions immediately?
Yeah, let's ask, what should I be on the lookout for?
I think as you're sort of led inside, you see a figure you don't recognize, and ooh, God, I'm going to introduce a continuity error because I don't remember what race the mage was last time, but there is an elf, I think, outside doing magic, and you see them sort of like chanting in the center of the compound, and then you see this strange glittering orange sphere form briefly over the entire fortress, as sort of this pattern of runes cascades up the shape and then fades. So what you should be on the lookout for is that there's a mage, and this place is magically defended.
Very upgraded.
And Gregor will bring you inside and be like, "All right, nuggets. This right here, the greatest man I have ever had the pleasure of knowing. This is Gregor Whitbread." And you just sort of see everybody look at each other like, am I supposed to know who this is? And then he bursts out laughing. It's like, no, he was here a long time ago, but he's back. He's back. And let me tell you, you're going to have a lot to learn from this guy over the next few days. And then he'll just start introducing you to people. And they're all pretty much, with a few exceptions, they're all quite young in their early to mid-teens, sort of with a street rat quality to them, but they all seem friendly enough. You can see a couple of them sizing you up in this am I gonna have to take you down to prove I'm cool kind of way that teenagers in rough situations often do, but none of it actually feels too threatening to you. And after maybe 30 minutes of these introductions and a couple jokes at your expense, Rupert will take you aside and bring you to a very familiar room. It's a room with probably 4 bunks in it, and he walks over to one of them and puts a hand on it, and you see 2 trunks at the foot of the bed, one with Rupert's name and one with yours. I didn't have it in me to, let anyone take it, so it's still here.
Gregor will take a step forward and check it out. Just kind of think for a moment and just be like, "Thanks, Rupert."
Yeah. Look, regardless of what you said earlier, I'm really glad you're back. I meant what I said back in Two Rivers. It hasn't been the same without you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you need reminding of where anything is, just ask me. I'm gonna get a nightcap. It's good to have you back. And he'll awkwardly move toward the door. What do you do when you're left to your own devices?
Gregor will walk into the room a bit more and take it in. remember some things. Maybe I'll go to one of the bunks and like shake it a little and be like, "Oh, it's still squeaky."
Yeah. Yeah, these
And
are
I'll just
not
take
good
a-
bets.
A big sigh and cross his arms behind his bed and just be like, "Shit." And then I'll sit on his bunk and he'll think.
All right. I think, yeah, I think you think about your situation until you just sort of pass into sleep. Meanwhile, on the opposite end of this fortress, Olga, who has not been kind to you so far, Farron, and certainly is not changing her tune now, she's been giving you the stink eye since you got here. She's clearly not happy about you sort of walking into a position of privilege. But she's dutifully leading you to this low building, sort of on the opposite end of the compound from the gate. And you can see that there are a couple people posted there as guards. It's very obviously not the same as like city guards, right? They're not standing at attention and like prepared for anything. They're posted there, so there's some organization, but like there are these two women that are just sitting there playing cards out front of the door, and then when they see Olga coming, they like sort of stand up a bit and put their hands on their weapons just in case you try anything, but it's really not the sort of fare that you're used to when you think guarded house.
Yeah, just give them a little wave as we walk by.
Yeah, they like look at each other and look back at you, sort of like, wait, what? This stranger is being friendly. What is this? One thing you do note as you walk over is you walk past a structure that's built into the ground, like the ground has been excavated away so that it can sit low. And you see, you remember the other captive woman being led in that direction. So your best guess is that structure is probably their jail, in essence. But Olga was quick to, like, if you stopped to take a look or anything, Olga would have been quick to be like, keep fucking moving, shitbag. I don't like you. And so she'll take you into this house, and once you get inside, it's sort of a shocking difference, I think. In that, like, everything outside is very rough. There's a lot of like people making what they can out of very little, but in doing so, like, there's no cohesion to any of it. There's no like particular style. Everybody has their own opinions on how things should look, but inside everything has a very clear, singular vision. And I'm curious where else in the world you have seen this sort of style. Is there like a particular like art style that is being used here, or is there like a particular blend of things that you've seen elsewhere?
That's interesting. I think Farron has definitely seen some of the elements, perhaps like not of the like the materials or whatever, but like the way that even just the smallest details of like the borders and stuff of a certain style, which matches with, you know, the coloration, and like the door frames are done in a very, very particular way, that is so that somebody paying attention to these types of details.
Mm-hmm. And what region of the or what area are you familiar with this from? Like, where would you source this?
I'm trying to remember names of places, but certainly, one of the few times that Farron went pretty far away from home. They usually stick around Sanctuary and the area around. So this probably would have been like one of their few trips that they went out.
Okay.
It was gone for like probably a few months.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's a distant land to the south that before the Reformation was like an elven kingdom. That, I mean, along with every other nation, pretty much collapsed when that all happened. And so maybe there was a time when you decided you wanted to, like, the ancestral home in this region is Elisurdran, and Elisurdran is gone, but maybe there was a time when you're like, no, I'm gonna trek the many, many months to go to this place and try and see some of my heritage. Is that what that was?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was like they've been in a very mixed area or a very human-based area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so everything has a particular elvish flair to it, and specifically Imperial Elvish. So everything is very, very. It's this weird juxtaposition of extreme intense structure with natural symbols like plants and leaves and animals and that sort of stuff. And that certainly is not, I think, what Farron was expecting walking in here. And Olga will see you stop and say, "Come on, room's over here. Just don't let your eyes fall out." So, you'll be here. There's a washroom there. You have a bed. You have stuff. If you need anything, don't ask. Good night. And then she just sort of, like, storms out. And you're left in this house by yourself. What do you do?
Just casually here, all right. Yeah, Farron's just gonna take a bit of time to walk and just see, what else is in this place and what the exits are.
Okay, so you're checking out the house. I think it's probably got like all the usual stuff. Like you're in what is probably the guest room, I guess. And there's a room that's presumably Bruno's bedroom, and I think that one's actually locked. But there's a kitchen and a larder and a place for people to sit that isn't one of the bedrooms. But as far as other entrances, I think you're actually just restricted to the front door. And depending on your definition of exits and entrances, maybe some windows too. But despite the decoration, I think the building itself is pretty pretty simple.
Okay. Yeah, so basically just getting myself a little familiar with the layout.
Okay.
I'd be like, okay, so I could get in or out potentially.
It sounds to me like you're discerning realities here.
Yes.
You're like poking around and trying to see what you can glean, so go ahead and roll that. Woo! You get XP! So mark XP. But yeah, you're really not getting much. I think you're really distracted by just the sheer amount of artistry here, because clearly the building was constructed by a builder and carpenter that knew about the style and knew how to emulate it correctly. But beyond that, there are like paintings and tapestries and sculpture here and there that also fit this cultural aesthetic, and so it's just you're caught up every time you look around a corner. There's some new piece of art to inspect and try and source, and eventually, I think probably an hour or two into this, while you're poking around in maybe the larder, you hear the front door open. What do you do?
So Farron probably, has the head in the water. Just, like, casually shuts it. And we'll just pad over to the front.
All right. You see Bruno very carefully closing the door. He has to stoop a little inside, being, what, like 6'5" or something, with these 2 large horns. And as he closes the door with his back to you and then pulls his coat off and hangs it on the coat hanger, in a way that is just almost too mundane for the creature that he is. And he turns his head and sees you. I hope everything is to your liking.
With a normal chopper.
It is more than generous. I am quite impressed by the style in here. Not
Thank you.
not common that you see it outside of its homeland.
Indeed. He's clearly, like, just not offering an explanation for you. And I think you can see him measuring your response. He's intentionally keeping information from you to see how you react.
That's fun. Okay. Yeah, Fran will just kind of incline their head.
That's to the real
You know, as if like trace and like we'll trace a finger along one of like, you know, a border or something along the doorway. Really, quite the craftsmanship.
Indeed.
Seems like you can't judge a book by its covers.
So they say. But, and he looks around, I find the cover an important component. One worth killing for, when necessary. And he starts to sort of stomp over to his room. There's no stepping, there's only stomping with the amount of weight that he carries. And some dust is unsettled from the rafters as he walks toward his room. If you have need of me, I shall be in here. Knock only. Do not enter uninvited.
Of course, I would not wish to trespass upon your private area, unless invited, of course.
How about you jump?
He raises an eyebrow at that. I appreciate your courtesy. Sleep well, Farron. And you hear the click of a key in the lock on the door. The door opens, and it opens just wide enough for him to move through. But you also see the flickering of candles just around his enormous frame. And then before you can get a good look, he closes the door behind him, and you hear another click as the door is locked. And I think that's probably where we cut from Farron for the night. And we cut to the next morning, to Gregor, who is lying in bed, and you just hear, Gregor, wake up, Gregor, wake up.
Skullbreaker?
And you like sit up, and you're still in this room. You're maybe disoriented, not quite remembering where you are. But you're in this barracks room. There are other people sleeping in the beds around you. But you do not see Skullbreaker. Oh, thank goodness! Finally, you're awake.
Where are you, buddy?
I'm in the armory. I hope you're well rested because you slept for... Well, you could have gotten an hour or two less and been fine. Come get me.
Okay.
These
Gregor's
people in their
going
grubby
to-
hands. They don't even know what weapon oil is.
What can you tell me about what you see? I guess Skullbreaker.
Would you believe that they put me in a pile of rusty swords? Rusty swords, Gregor. Such an utter disgrace. Do they not know who I am? I am Skullbreaker, scourge of all lands.
They don't know who you are, Skullbreaker. I'm coming, okay? And Greg's gonna try to, like, quietly as possible, just get up and sort of naturally just, start walking out of the room. I guess listening for the sounds of Skullbreaker's voice if it gets louder.
We shall have to teach them then. Go ahead, and I think you're gonna be defying danger with charisma, because you're like trying to
Alright.
look natural and
Don't
be a
mind
normal
me.
person.
Can I guess use any of my other questions right now?
Yeah, actually, totally.
Actually, I'm not gonna use it yet. I am gonna try to defy. What am I doing? Defying danger.
Yes, with
Alright,
charm
I'll
and
do that
social
after.
grace. All right, a 7 and 9. A worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. Ooh. I have a choice for you.
Okay.
So you're doing a good enough job, looking natural. There are a couple like, "Hello, fellow bandit. Is murder not the greatest?" And people are like, "The fuck? No, murder's not great. Like, we do it, but Jesus, man." But as you get outside and start like surreptitiously trying to like look for where you think you remember the armory being, across the compound you see Farron out front of what is presumably Bruno's residence, and you have a choice. You can continue going towards Skullbreaker, or you can try and seize upon this opportunity to speak with Farron.
Oh. Gregor's gonna like look towards the armory, probably with Skullbreaker at max volume.
Gregor,
He's
I
gonna
can
walk
hear
over
your
to
thoughts.
Farron.
Gregor Whitbread, turn back around, and yeah, his voice fades. And I think we can see you walk up to Farron. How do you initiate this conversation? Like, what is the thing that Gregor says to open?
Gregor's gonna like walk like kind of with his hands on his hips, mostly to just kind of like not cause any alarm to anyone else that might be watching them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not trying any funny business or anything, and he's just gonna walk over, just look at Farron and go, "Hey."
And I think we're gonna cut to a break on that. So we're gonna step away for a couple minutes, and when we come back, as it is bright and early in the morning, we'll see if Arrow and Vori can figure out that their friends are missing. But also, we'll get to see Gregor and Farron finally speak to each other after the events of yesterday. So, see you soon. Hello and welcome back to From Dust. Farron, Gregor has just walked up to you, cocked an eyebrow, and said, "Hey, what do you say?" Or do.
Yes.
Good morning, Gregory.
Gregor's eyebrow will lower. And actually, before he says his next thing, I don't remember if this is the one I just asked, but now that we're out in the open, I want to ask, what should I be on the lookout for?
Okay, so that's the one you asked.
Okay.
With the mage.
How about what here is useful or valuable to me then?
What here is useful or valuable to you? Aside from Farron, I think there are a couple people who are suspicious of you. Olga, obviously. But by and large, you, Gregor, are passing without much thought. But aside from those exceptions, people have just sort of accepted that you're here. And so I think what's useful to you is your ability to blend in and seem like just a part of the group.
Stealth Gregor gets to continue.
He is the greatest.
That was a thing last episode.
He was very good at being sneaky.
Whatever cool he had's gonna kind of melt, and he's just gonna be like, "Why? You could have gone back. You could have. Why?"
Did you want to stay here?
No, but I didn't want you to come here.
So I was just supposed to just let you get carried away by some suspicious people to who knows what.
Look, I'm supposed to be protecting you, and I can't protect you if you're putting yourself in the dangerous situation with me when you could be back there being safe.
So you were just going to leave?
It's not like that, you know that.
No, I don't exactly know that.
Look, what was your plan anyway? You really thought you were just gonna come in and convince him to let me out and we'd just be on our merry way?
Perhaps. I mean, I tend to be okay at these types of things, usually.
I'm sorry, it's not your fault. Things are a lot different than the last time I was here, as you can see.
Not a demon, I'm guessing, last time you were here.
No. None of this. This is serious.
Right. Which is just another good reason why I should be here. To help you.
Alright, well, we can't stay together too long.
No.
Go inside the top.
So how about we go our separate ways, keep an eye on anything we can, we'll reconvene sometime later, we'll share what we find. Maybe the other two will realize something in that time. Maybe.
Well, we didn't exactly leave a note, and we didn't tell anybody where we were going. Well,
Oh, I didn't know I was getting kidnapped today.
you know what? That's fair. Right, so we need to find a place and a time to meet that doesn't cause any suspicion.
Listen, that lady with them, Olga said she's a demon. Like, kinda like the ones we fought, but smarter, more together. She mentioned something about sucking the sin out of people. I don't know if she did this to Bruno, but keep an eye out for her. That's what I'm gonna try and do.
All right. I may be under close watch over the next little while until, well, I'm proved to be a good bird in a cage.
Yeah. He didn't hurt you or anything, did he?
No. Why, were you worried about that?
Yeah. What?
No, I'm fine.
Alright, well. This has probably gone on long enough, so just trying to stay out of trouble, okay?
Could say the same to you.
Gregor will chuckle a little, and it feels like slow motion as he's like pulling himself away, but he'll turn away and he'll start heading back towards where he was hearing Skullbreaker.
Okay. I think we see you heading back toward the armory, and we just hear the wall of swear words fade in as you get within range again. And we cut to the Tilted Turn, where we see Vori, after another restless night of nightmares of darkness and death in a strange mountain city, sit up, hair disheveled, blink away the sleep.
Sleeping, right. Something I should probably give up on. He just gets up, splashes some water on his face, gets tidied up for the day, spends an incredibly inordinate amount of time braiding his hair.
Yeah.
Lovingly.
Good. That's what we love. That's what we need.
Listen. It's his favorite part, okay?
Arrow's outside.
Eventually, when he looks great, before he comes out to find Arrow. Or the others. Whoever. Nobody came back, so he probably had another thing of mead. Oh, there you are. Good morning.
Good morning.
There's apparently a stray cat as well.
Always.
We love our cats here. I don't think they're back.
Still.
There's no sign of them downstairs. Knocked on the door, didn't hear anything.
I never heard anything overnight.
It's unlikely that they would have come back after we went to bed and left before we got up.
Yes, that seems true. Well, he's gonna dash upstairs and just try to open the door and like see if he can get in the room and see if they're there.
Right. I don't know that
Why not?
that the door's locked, so I think getting in is pretty easy. And yeah, you see their stuff, their packs and whatnot, like leaned up against the wall, in various states of being packed and unpacked. It looks sort of like, it actually looks a lot like you saw it the night before, or the not last night, but the one before when you all came in.
Sure.
After getting out of prison, it looks.
Right. Yeah. After that all happened.
I forgot that I was in jail.
Yeah, you can still see like maybe a book stand knocked over from when the paladins came in to arrest Gregor.
Yeah, he'll take a cursory look around and just see if anything looks weird here.
Go ahead and discern realities.
Y'all ready for how great I always roll?
7 to 8. That's pretty good. So you get a question.
Gosh. So either I'm trying to decide between like what happened here recently or what should I be on the lookout for.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna say.
They seem pretty equivalent to me. I
Yeah.
think, in this particular situation.
Yeah. So one of those, based
Okay.
on, I think you get what I'm angling at.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to see if anything weird happened here that, like, while they were out or post arrest pre now.
What does seem weird is like the bathwater is cold, and there's like maybe a plate with some light fare on it that is like clearly a day old, and you find a small stack of papers, like blank paper. And some ink and a quill that are all like, it's nice paper and nice ink. And you can just barely see sort of like the scratchings of a letter where something was written on another sheet on top of these.
Yeah, he'll head out of the room and back down to where Arrow is.
I'm snooping around in the dirt. I I want to see if I can like find like fresh footprints from them. Basically, like I've been traveling with them for like a decent amount of time. I know probably close to what size shoe they wear.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a cobbled city that sees a
Oh.
lot of traffic, so
That's true.
I'll let you roll for it, but I
Okay.
think this is like a
Yeah.
like a -3 forward.
-3.
You're in a cobbled city with lots of foot traffic.
Okay, what am I rolling?
Your tracking skill.
Okay, I don't know how to.
You have a tracking move, don't you, as a ranger?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah. No, I got it. I just don't know how to do -3.
we'll just subtract 3.
Okay, fine. I hate it, but fine. Okay. Well, get
Wow.
fucked.
Wow, you still get a 10+. Holy shit.
Get wrecked. I'm good at one thing.
So
This and shooting.
Wow.
that's you're looking around outside the inn, and you like hear the sound of a hawk, I think, and you like look up and try to follow it, and we see you moving into the city, sort of in the direction of the ducal palace, and eventually you just stop as you realize, no, that wasn't like, that was a different bird. You need to like shake yourself of this. And I think maybe Vori, you saw Arrow just like go off with purpose. So
Walking in a
you
trance.
you can follow him without any difficulty.
Yep.
But
He's just gonna follow Forest, son.
when you catch up with Forest Sun, he's stopped at an alleyway. That's a dead end, and in the entrance to the alleyway, you see a familiar rapier. And a couple feet past, you see a crumpled body. What do you do?
Well,
Go take a look at the body and take the sword.
Alright, well, the sword is Farron's. It is Farron's rapier. It's very recognizable. But the
telling the body and
corpse...
flipping it over.
The corpse is not very recognizable. The head is essentially gone. Yeah.
Kind of like those harpies we
Yes.
smashed up.
Yep, a lot like that.
Okay. Cool.
So, do I get to ask one of the questions?
Sure, yeah.
I get to determine what caused the trail to end.
Yeah, so as you like pull this body over and the horrific sight that lays there meets your gaze, you maybe take a step back a bit and look at the whole alleyway now, trying to take in as much as you can, and you see some splatters of blood, and you sort of like, I guess, CSI recreate the scene a bit.
In my mind, yeah, I do.
And there were a couple attackers here. This corpse is not Farron. So thank Asylum for that. But this corpse is presumably one of the assailants. You see these sort of rough, crudely made daggers that this person is carrying, or was carrying. They've been done in by Gregor. You see some carved lines in the walls of this alleyway from errant sword strikes sparking across the wall, and you also see like a dark stain on the wall, as if someone with a wound was leaned up against it, and sort of at neck height, but fortunately without a significant blood stain, is a slash in the stonework where a blade punctured into the stone, and the edges of that mark are burned as if by fire. So the trail ends here because there was a fight, and your friends, while they put up a good fight, they lost. They don't appear to be dead. At least they weren't killed here.
Yeah.
But Theron presumably was pretty seriously wounded.
Yeah, he just turns and looks at Vori, kind of shaking his head. They fought for whatever reason, right?
Fought whom? Well, other
Just
than
kind of toes
this-
the body again, is like.
Other than this unfortunate soul.
It looks like they might have gotten out alive. I don't really know.
I can't imagine Farron would have left his sword if he left under his own power. So,
We can, I'm more familiar with them than I am with whoever this was. It's not easy to follow people through a city. You can ask around the area, see if anybody saw anything.
No. That takes far too much time. Just give me a little bit of time. I need to find a place to... We'll call it consult the spirits, but that's not really what I'm doing. It's just convenient to say it that way. Yeah, we're gonna leave town. Because he's not doing that inside the city.
Okay, you're not casting significant magic inside the city.
Nope.
You know,
I'm not that
I can just stand
stupid.
watch. I'm really good at standing watch while people do weird stuff at night
I know.
or during the day.
I know, but no. We're gonna leave the city for this.
I'm taking all of that person's stuff.
All right, you get 1 coin and 2
You said
daggers.
they had daggers. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm
1
taking
coin
those
and 2
daggers.
daggers.
And I'm gonna use those later.
Okay.
One
will-
coin? Poor. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Rory will,
it's
keep the-
noticeable. Like, having that little pocket change on you is like, this person was destitute.
Yeah, they're broke as shit.
But I'm really rich, so it doesn't. It's fine.
the richest forest hobo.
But really, I'm very rich. It's kind of outrageous.
I
You're
know.
You're a very emo Paris Hilton.
Oh my god.
Yeah, let's
So you,
Get
Are,
out of
are
here.
we the people that go to Burning Man for the aesthetic? Is that what
Oh,
you're saying?
fuck.
yeah, you do the Burning Man glamping experience, where you like fly in and then sleep in a trailer.
Oh my
Ugh.
god.
Okay, no.
Anyway. So you
Can't
Go
Tangential.
outside the city. It's daytime. This is the first time we've ever left or entered the city at a normal fucking time.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
you left at a normal hour to go kill a bunch of harpies.
Oh yeah, I
That
forgot
one
about
time.
that.
That one time.
Would you say
That
these are
went well.
throwing daggers or regular daggers?
They're regular
Times.
daggers.
I miss harpies.
I'm a pain in the ass. I'm sorry.
I know. It's fine.
The simple days when all we were doing was leaving town to murder harpies.
To be young again.
So, what are you looking for when you leave the city? What's your goal, Vori?
Quite frankly, just a place where there's enough magic to burn through to do a little bit of scrying.
Okay, so you want somewhere like sort of secluded where you can set up a circle and some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just gonna
Scrat and bones.
So
Scrat and bones.
a little
Not exactly,
ways-
but
a little
Sure,
ways
we're
out
gonna-
of town, you find there's like a little dell off to the side of the road, which if this were an actual TV show, viewers would recognize as the place where Farron's body was dropped.
Do we see a bunch of blood?
You don't.
I feel like it didn't
They
rain.
they might see the bloody cloth that I was wrapped in.
Right, because you were wrapped in that
I
guy's
was wrapped
cloak.
in a goddamn rug.
it'd probably be helpful if I had something to sacrifice to
Yeah,
the fire.
actually, I think so. You're like, okay, perfect, secluded space, and then you turn around and
Hell
Arrow's
yeah,
just
here's
like
a bloody rug.
Arrow's just holding up this bloody cloak.
You know what? I'll take that.
Found it in the dirt.
Weird fashion
course
sense,
you
but
did.
okay.
Yeah, he'll just like
Bloody.
unfurl it and take a look. It'll do.
Yeah, it's not nice. It's basically just some burlap that was fashioned into a cloak
It's just
and then
trash.
soaked almost entirely through with blood.
Sorry in advance, Farron. Your sword might get torched. We
Clearly don't need it.
we can replace a blade. We cannot replace you.
That's cool. Farron has a scythe.
Oh God, that's true. Okay, well. So to set up, rather than being normal and say drawing something in the dirt, he's going to draw in the dirt with fire because it's Vori.
Nice.
So that circle is going to be traced into with flame until he's at the center of it with the rapier that he'll just kind of stab into the ground and start concentrating and trying to use it as kind of a focus to trace Farron's whereabouts or get some sign or some image, something that will point them in the right direction.
Okay. I believe you have a move for
Yep.
doing ritual magic, so
Yup.
go ahead and roll that.
I mean, it's not really a roll.
It says tell the GM what you're trying to achieve. Ritual effects are always possible. The GM will give you 1 to 4 of the following conditions. It's going to take a long time. First, you'll need help from. It will require a lot of money. The best you can do is a lesser version. Your odds will risk danger from. You'll have to disenchant. So what you're trying to do is locate Farron? Are you trying to locate Farron right now, or are you trying to generate some kind of like an ongoing enchantment?
I think at a minimum get a clue as to his whereabouts. So like if it's whether it comes in the form of like some vision of like, oh, I know where that is, we go this way, or like literally just a trail leading us there. Either way.
Okay.
Whatever is workable.
So what I would have given you here was you'll need help from like an object that belongs to the person. You have that. The other thing I would say is first you must burn, like you must give a blood sacrifice, but you have conveniently
Blood.
a significant amount of blood, which just so happens to belong to the person you're trying to track.
Oh.
So if you burn that up, if you burn
Okay.
up that cloak,
He's gonna step gingerly, or actually just step through the circle because fire isn't a big deal to him, and drop it in front of the sword and then just torch it.
all right, and we see the flames, these blue flames, curl up around the sword and hungrily disintegrate this cloth. As the blood is actually drawn from the material to form these droplets that sizzle and evaporate. And before you, Vori, you see the fire take the shape of the landscape, right? You see the coast, you see two rivers, you see this road leading off south into sort of the wilderness, but then you see sort of the edges curl and fade away as they burn inward toward this location just a little ways off the road, maybe some few hours walk from here, where there's a ravine that's cut into the ground. And as the spell concludes and this vision burns away, you're left standing here with sort of the circle burned in soot around you. The blade of Farron's rapier still glowing a dull orange, and you hear a whisper. Hello, Vori.
He's going to step out of the circle.
And you see, as you step out, the soot sort of shudders as if something large had stepped nearby, and it drifts up maybe an inch off the ground for a moment before settling. I'll be there soon.
I think I found where he is. He will say as if nothing is wrong whatsoever.
I didn't hear any weird voice, did I?
You did not. Actually, I think this is a defy danger to keep your cool and not
Sure.
reveal to Arrow that.
Not super
that
freak
just
out.
happened. Yeah,
Don't worry, I'm not super observant.
it's true.
When it comes to people problems.
Defy danger with what?
Charm and social grace, I think.
Charisma?
Yeah.
So? Okay.
Worst outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. I think you can keep it to yourself for now, but this is probably pretty close to the straw that's breaking the camel's back for Vori, as far as like, if you don't trust someone with this soon, you are going to die, and you know it.
Sure. Cool.
All right.
Right, we should get rid of this before someone notices.
Just smudging it out.
Yeah, they
Most of
start
it.
smudging it out while they wait for the sword to maybe cool off.
Do you
Yeah.
think that they're together? Or do you think it's just Farron?
Well, I was only able to track Farron, so with any luck, Gregor will be nearby. They seem to stay fairly close.
That
As
they do.
expected, I suppose.
As
Right.
traveling companions.
Yes. Listen, Vori definitely canonically assumes they are married.
Arrow knows nothing. It's like, yeah, we all travel together. What are you talking about?
Just insert the what could be better, just guys being dudes video right here. Just put it right there.
Just guys being dudes, sleeping in the same bedroom.
Yeah, the sword cools off before too long. I think the handle is actually still cold.
Yeah, he'll grab it and just find something to like wrap it with if he's got a cloth or whatever, because he doesn't have a sheath for it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do real weapons work? I don't use those.
Huh? Weird. All right.
It will head whatever way Vori
Yeah.
says.
Yep, he'll start leading the way.
So it takes you a few hours, but eventually you do. The hard part is actually figuring out where to step off the road to find this ravine. But
Well,
without-
it is normally hard unless you can talk to animals as you
oh
go.
fuck.
and ask them.
I forgot.
So
you can
probably
talk to
just
animals
casual
walking.
chatting
We're such a
with
good
like
CSI
birds
team.
or rabbits or whatever whenever he happens to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Because they would be scared of whatever was coming through here and stepping off the path, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the there are falcons here that you can speak with. And the falcons, you know, getting a pretty good view of the area, and having to keep track of like where can I hunt small rodents and where can't I hunt small rodents. There is what they're calling a city, not far from here, and that I think is how you find the ravine. It's that way down the ravine. Oh, thank
Nice.
you, bird.
Tweet.
And yeah, so we see the two of you begin to head into this ravine as the trees creep up, and we're going to cut over to Farron. So Farron, maybe 15 seconds after Gregor walks away, you hear the door open behind you. And you see Bruno sort of extricate himself from the doorway and pull his coat over his shoulders.
Good morning.
To you as well, Farron.
I hope that you slept well.
Indeed. Have you been out here long?
Oh, no, just stepped out a moment ago. Any bit of fresh air in the morning.
He gets down on one knee next to you, sort of behind you a little bit, so that he's closer to your height. And he says, "What do you see when you look at this place?"
I see a place that's been built from the ground up with an interesting combination of care.
Interesting. And what of the people?
I haven't gotten to know many of the people here. But, I look forward to knowing them a little more.
Good. I'm afraid, though, that you see only the surface. He stands up. This place is a pit, built by the desperate. I am doing my best to turn it into something. And that is why I want you and Gregor. Walk with me. And he just sort of, he doesn't wait for you, he just starts walking.
Oh, Farron's gonna go along with it.
These people want to survive in a world that seeks to kill them. They will not get what they want. But with them, and perhaps with your worldly knowledge, we can use them to make a world where they will survive.
So you're looking to change the world?
I am looking to make a place that knows what it is. These cities and their dukes and their regents, they think they are safe. but they breed their own demise in their streets, in their gutters. Have you seen what happens to those who sin, Farron?
Well, I've traveled enough to see quite a bit of that.
When you bring people in close, and then take everything they have from them, what do you think they do?
Fuck you.
I mean,
Well timed.
sorry.
That's Farron's inner monologue.
Yeah. I was gonna say, but yeah. Wait. I mean, I have ideas, but I would imagine it's best if you are straightforward with the answer you wish me to hear.
Except loser.
Your honesty is what I seek, Farron. Trying to give me the answer you think I want will end with you in a grave. He stops and turns toward where I think several bandits are sparring. They bite and they scratch. People are animals, Farron. Animals pretending at civilization. And when they hurt each other enough, they become the animals they thought they had distanced themselves from. The demons you have seen. When you bring thousands of people into a city, when you take their food from them, their homes, their money, their families, all that is left is a pit. And he looks around, waiting to spawn demons. I know this. I recognize it. I can survive here. But these people, the people in these cities, they want to pretend that if they make enough rules, the demons won't come. But we're already here. And he presses one large finger into your chest. Waiting.
Farron keeps his face very straight as this is happening.
Have you nothing to say for yourself?
I mean, you certainly speak some truth. We all have our own base instincts, our need to survive at whatever cost, to put ourselves forward. But I believe there might be some ways for the social part of our natures, the things that will bring us together at times of need, that will override those types of things.
Perhaps. Tell me a story, Farron. Tell me of a kingdom that did not fall when its people were given swords and the king's doors left open. And he puts a hand on your shoulder. Take your time. I will be in the hall. And he leaves you there. And I think as that happens, we see Arrow and Vori creeping through the woods. And You've noticed a couple times, and this might actually... You'll probably have actions or things you want to do in response to this, but a short ways into these woods, you notice a couple what are sort of like hunter's blinds, where stands have been set up in the trees for people to watch out, and they're like presently stocked. What do you do once you notice that?
I would imagine that Arrow probably notices that before Vori does.
Probably.
Yeah.
He's
There's
focusing on getting them to the location.
People watching us?
You have not seen a person yet. I think this is
Okay.
probably the first blind that you're coming across.
Okay. He would not say anything, but nudge Vori and kind of gesture to it, and then go up to it and go in it.
Okay.
Check it out.
Of course.
I can climb trees.
Yeah, I think you
If
can.
I need to.
So you
We've
you
seen
can,
it.
you can climb up into this tree, and I don't know enough about trees to say what kind it is, but it's different from the trees back in Elisartren because it's more of a
For sure.
more of a coastal tree.
Yeah. What's in here?
And you get up there, and there is there are 2 small clay pots, and then there's a wicker basket with an oiled leather cover on it. And looking in the basket, there are some arrows for people of slightly smaller stature than yourself. And the 2 ceramic pots, one of them holds water, and the other holds some some dried berries.
But nothing else in here.
No.
Does it look like it's been used recently or frequently?
Go ahead and discern realities, I think,
Okay.
as you try to examine this area and try to
Sure.
get something out of it. Well, what you do get is XP.
Yeah. Watch out, everyone. I'm climbing back to the top.
Interesting. Okay. Ooh, yes.
Man, I fumbled.
Ooh, yeah. Cool. All right. So you can't quite you can't get much out of this. It's aside from the fact that it's not large enough to hold game, so it's probably not actually for hunting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would leave pretty much everything exactly as it was. Climb back down to Vori and be like, it's empty. Not much in it.
That's
But
interesting.
clearly they at least used to expect people to come this way. We should be careful. Maybe try and get more off of whatever path this might be.
Yes.
My tree cat.
Lake, you've
Chica.
changed.
Like, you changed so much. Where did your wings go, baby?
Oh. Vori will nod and just. I think we're nearly there, so we might as well keep on.
Cat time. Too many cats in
Hi.
these woods. Fuck.
What's wrong with these woods, man?
What is wrong with these woods? Okay, yeah. So Arrow would want to like move. They've been presumably following like a deer trail, basically.
Yeah,
I would
it's a
say
game
it's not
trail.
like, yeah,
Not a
so-
path per se.
So
but-
for sure, he would want to move off of that, but continue in the same general direction,
Okay.
just in case there's more that happen to have people watching.
All right.
Would Vori have a sense of how close they're getting to the location at this point?
I would say pretty close, like within a few minutes.
Okay. then he'll just keep on, but also be keeping considerably more alert.
Right.
Walking quiet. We're taking them quiet steps.
Yes.
Go ahead and you can also discern realities, Vori, as you press further into these woods.
Elf steps.
Elf steps.
Half elf steps.
Let's see.
Ooh, okay, you get 3 questions.
Oh wow, I actually didn't suck. Weird. I'm not used to that. I just
You just gotta
assume I'm
suck a
gonna fail.
lot. You just
It's-
gotta suck a ton
it's
until you
not
get
that-
really good.
I don't think you have enough XP for you to actually be failing all that often.
You underestimate my powers of anti-luck.
Failure
Alright,
powers.
You got 3 questions.
Yeah, what is about to happen? What here is not what it appears to be. What should I be on the lookout for?
Alright, pick one and we'll start with that.
Sure. What should I be on the lookout for?
You should be on the lookout for the 2 scouts that have seen you.
Cool.
There's one off to your left and one off to your right.
Okay. He's going to relay that information to Arrow quietly, just kind of give him a nudge and
Can I
Point
see
with-
them
point with his eyes in either direction.
now that Vori's pointed them out?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Vori, you oh god, I guess defy danger because you're trying to be surreptitious, right? Like, you don't want them. The danger here is they'll notice that you've seen them.
Yeah.
So I think this is a defy danger. What do you think? Quick thinking?
Tell me what stat that would be.
That would be, well, no. It's
don't
not the
fucking know.
stat, it's what you're doing. So, are you solving this problem with quick thinking, with your social skills?
None of these?
Like, I would say it's like instinct, right?
It's not moving in an obvious way. I don't know what that translates to.
I think it'd be quick thinking, because you need to come up with a solution to this quickly without making too much of a fuss. So that would be int.
All right.
A 7. Okay. Yes, you can point them out, and you, Vori, can get low and out of immediate line of sight of them before they shoot you. Or you can push Arrow down.
I'll push Arrow down.
And okay.
But then I can't shoot them.
That's okay.
So we see Vori stop Arrow and be like, there are scouts. But as you're relaying this information, you see them both raise their bows and you just push Arrow to the ground and get down on top of him. And we are at the top of an hour. So as we hear these 2 arrows leave their bows, we cut to black and we're gonna take our second break. So we are gonna step away for about 10 minutes. When we come back, we're gonna see if these 2 disaster boys can get their way
We're fine.
to their friends and rescue them from summer camp. See you soon. Welcome back to episode 11 of From Dust. Arrow, you just had 2 scouts pointed out to you, and as you were trying to find them, Vori shoves you to the ground, and you hear the sound of these 2 arrows whistling through the air. Vori, I'm gonna need you to defy danger.
Sure.
To avoid these arrows.
It's fine.
Shooting into your important bits.
Cool.
I don't remember how aid or interfere works?
You do what it says. Oh God. Well, Vori rolled, so
But I could roll to add to that, right?
I believe
Make it a 7.
You typically roll beforehand, but let's check. Aid or interfere. When you help with, yeah, I'd say you're allowed to do it.
Okay.
So you roll plus bond with them.
Yeah.
On a 10 plus, they take +1 and -2 to their roll, your choice. On a 7 to 9, they still get a modifier, but you also expose yourself to danger, retribution, or cost. So
Yeah. Cause Vori pushed Arrow down. So, and like I feel like Arrow would have heard the arrows being launched at them, like that split second that was happening, and would have been able to like pull Vori like completely down to the ground to be like laying flat.
Okay.
Would have
so you're
had
just
enough time to
pulling
try and
him.
like pulling all the way, like
Must
pushing
you?
him. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I'm just trying, and that's fine. Okay.
All right, let's see what you do.
Will it ask me for my bond?
I think.
Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah, it does. A 5.
Well, you both mark XP.
Yay!
So
I also probably marked some harm, I imagine.
in a second, yeah. So I mean, you are in a sense saving Vori from some damage.
By taking some damage.
Yes. So you pull Vori to the ground, but not out of the way of the arrow off to your left, and you like try to roll up to get into a position to counterattack, but you did not accurately estimate when the other scout fired or shot, and so you stand up, like kneel up into the line of fire and take the second arrow. So let me see how much damage you take. This is for Vori. Okay, Vori takes 4 harm.
Cool.
And Arrow also takes 4 harm. So, Vori, you get tossed to the side and catch this arrow in your shoulder blade, where you can hear the or feel the tip of the arrow like sort of grating against the shoulder blade uncomfortably.
Yep.
And
Ow.
Arrow, you kneel up to like draw your bow and shoot back and catch this arrow directly in the thigh. As you get up, what do you do?
I pull the arrow out and I shoot it back at him.
Damn.
Okay.
You want mine too? I mean,
So you like get up, you catch this arrow directly into the thigh, you pull it out and shoot back.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead
and
and
I'm
roll volley.
gonna roll my called shot. Oh no, I
called
guess
shot.
they're not. Well, would you consider them defenseless?
No, they can fight back.
Okay. Yeah, then it'll be volley.
Okay.
11.
Ooh.
Hit him with my damage.
So, volley. Let me just double
Yeah.
check the move, because I think there are choices that you get. If I remember
No,
correctly.
that's with called shot.
On a 10 plus, you have a clear shot. Deal your damage. On a 7 to 9, choose one. Okay, yeah. So you are, you pull this arrow out, knock it in your bow, and unfortunately it's like just a little too short for your usual draw length, and so you pull back. You can't quite get to anchor, but we see time slow as it usually does as you make your shots, and like a leaf pass in front of you, and as it crosses, you release, and this arrow just sings out. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. 2.
And pegs this poor teenager like directly in the chest, and they fall backwards into the brush. You can still hear them; they're alive, but there's a wheezing to their breath as they pull themselves back up that was not there before. Vori, what are you doing?
I guess I'll just get up and get armed. So
Okay, that poses some
Summon a spring.
particular risks in the forest,
okay.
I will point out, but you are free to do so.
do I care about burning down trees? Not really.
My trees.
Because otherwise I can't do shit. So don't burn the
All right.
forest down. Doesn't bother me.
We can hide in the smoke. It'll be cool.
The smoke never bothered you anyway.
Nope.
It makes me
Yeah.
sad, but I'll deal.
Yeah, he'll summon his burning brand with his good hand.
All right, go ahead and roll that. All right, on a 7 to 9, choose one.
I will remove the dangerous tag.
Smart move. So you don't have to worry about this thing burning fucking everything down, including yourself.
I mean, that's a fun thought, but no.
By default, the weapon is fiery touch. And has
Yeah, I guess
3
at this point it's
uses.
literally just like he just
Your-
has
your
fire in his
hands
hands, and
ignite.
I'm gonna smack them with it.
Okay, you are gonna have to close some distance, so I think in order to
That's
do
fine.
that, that's gonna be another defy danger.
Okay.
As you sprint through the undergrowth.
He's gonna dash at him and basically give them a bitch slap with fire on it.
All right. Go ahead and defy danger. I think this is with Dex.
Yeah, acting fast, I guess, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
No,
a
I'm not.
miss.
No, I'm not.
So you go running toward this guy, and he stumbles backwards in surprise. He wasn't expecting you to like try and close that distance, and so he stumbles backwards and fires or shoots an arrow at you for. Also you both took damage, which I should have marked. Let's see. Arrow took 4. You both took 4.
I
so
also
arrows,
took 4.
Arrow's at 17 and you're at 13?
I'm at 18.
I'm at 14.
18 and 14. Okay, I need to update some HP bars. Alright. Out of... And so your max is 18 on Vori and 22 on Arrow? Okay.
You.
Alright. So the arrow flies out. This is a much more grazing shot. I think it just cuts your exposed shoulder, Vori, as you get like a running jump off of a fallen log. Go ahead and roll hack and slash.
Sure.
And you get to roll with int because it's
Yep.
Burning Brand. A 7 to 9. Okay, so deal your damage to the enemy, and the enemy makes an attack against you. This enemy can't actually attack you back.
Okay.
Because he can't use his bow in this close range.
Sure.
So roll your damage.
All right, and this will consume a use, and I don't actually remember off the top of my head what the fiery tag, like if it has any particular effect.
I think it like sheds light and can ignite flammable materials, if I remember correctly.
Does he have anything flammable on him?
His clothes.
Excellent.
Yeah, his self. Yeah.
All that is him.
Yes.
Cool.
So go ahead and roll your damage.
Well, I'm gonna smack the most flammable part.
Ooh. Yeah. So you get like this running jump, and is Vori versed in martial arts? Like, is that a thing he's trained in, or?
I would imagine so. He kind of probably trained in a few different weapons because this thing is versatile by nature.
Okay. So I
So
think
unarmed, yes, he's decent.
we see him fly through the air and get like a Muay Thai kick in on this guy and just like take him to the ground so that
Yep.
you've got your knees pinning this guy's shoulders down, and you can how do you kill him?
I'm just gonna clap both fiery hands over the sides of his head.
So we see Vori raise his hands and bring them down, and we cut over to Arrow. What are you doing?
Hanging out.
Just
this-
straight
this-
chilling.
This
Was that
woman
the other
has,
kid?
yeah, she's gotten up and has another arrow.
The
Sort
one
of,
I shot in the chest is getting back up.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Can I?
She's leaning like one shoulder against the tree as she tries to knock this arrow.
Can I like grab a rock and shoot a rock at her head?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like can knock her out without. I mean, it could kill her, but
Yeah, I like that.
can I do that? Okay. I'm gonna.
How
I'll
very
just-
Katniss of you.
Thank you. Katniss here. Just volley.
Yeah.
Okay. 11.
Yeah, so we see her like she gets the arrow knocked onto the string. We hear like the little bit of the dull dung as it falls into the slot. She raises the bow. She can't make it to anchor, and we just see you like pick up a pebble, aim, get to anchor, let go, and she falls over backwards into the bushes.
I get up and I walk over there.
She is unconscious. She's not dead. But she is fucking out. She will probably be dead if she doesn't get medical attention. She has a punctured lung.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I would probably like, cause is the arrow still like sticking out of her?
Yeah.
I'd probably snap it off,
Mhm.
like leaving it room so you could grab onto it, but snap the majority of it off, and then just pick her up, throw over my shoulder, start walking back towards Vori.
Oh, were we trying to spare them? Oops.
No, don't worry about it. This was just circle. I mean, if my first shot had killed her, then
Yeah, if you hadn't rolled a 2 on damage, she probably would have
Yeah.
been dead.
yeah.
Whew.
Is there any? What's going on when I turn around? What do I see in the distance?
Well,
Is Vori done with that decisive strike?
I think so. I mean,
Okay.
whether the guy lived or died, he's not
No,
going to have a
he's
great
dead. He's
time.
very dead.
So. Yeah, he just got up and. I imagine since I double-handed that was probably technically 2 uses in
Sure.
sense. So he's just powering down.
And these both look like kids, right?
They're like 15, 16.
Yeah.
Like they're not children, but
Yeah, but
they are
Relatively.
definitely not
adults.
yeah.
Yeah. Arrow just walks over to Vori with the girl over his shoulder.
Is she alive, dead?
For now, she's alive.
Good. I thought you were bringing me a corpse, in which case I had questions.
I would have just left it there.
Cat Arrow. I brought you something.
I bought you something.
Head's gone, but I love you. Love me.
Sorry, I want you to play that character in a one shot or something at some point, please.
Please.
Yeah. And he's like, if these people have, I mean, I really don't know how much they care about their members, but if they have Farron and Gregor, maybe we could
Yeah.
make a
The
trade.
hostage exchange. It's a thought. That one's not going to be of any use. We should just
Well-
stash him at the side of the road.
Not much we can do about that. Just put some leaves over them.
Right. Well, I imagine
Nature
you're
will
better
take
at...
care of the rest.
I imagine you're better at that than I am. Have at it.
Covering someone with leaves. You just don't want to touch leaves, Vori.
I mean,
It's the leaves that are the problem,
It's
not
just
the
the leaves
corpse.
are the problem.
it's
yeah.
super the leaves that are the
It's
problem.
just they could crumble and they're dirty. Yeah.
Mm.
We'll drag him kind of away from
Yeah, we'll
like
haul
how we
him
were
up to
moving
the-
off the path.
Mhm.
Like basically tuck him behind some rocks or something, and then throw some dirt on him. I don't know.
But I think Arrow's thinking is now they've run into the scouts that might be on the road, so they might as well just take the main road. Like they might as well.
Well,
because like
we solved that problem.
yeah, unfortunately. Plus, if we're going in with a hostage, it makes more sense to just go directly in,
Yeah.
make ourselves very visible,
Yeah.
walking in.
This party, man.
We're fine.
Did you expect a bunch of good characters, Dylan?
That's not what I was. That was not the comment I was making. So you're gonna traipse down the road and see what you run into.
Yeah, until we get to the gorge or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So Gregor, you have gone searching for the armory. And after a little bit of coaxing from Skullbreaker, you've managed to find your way there. It's a much more fortified building, I think, than the other ones. It's made of stone. It's got bars on the window, or on the windows, and the door is a heavy wooden piece with like studs in it, and there's a big heavy lock on it. What do you do?
All right. I guess it's not a public access armory, like the good old days. I still have a question left.
You do.
From way back in the feed somewhere.
All right, Gregor, take the lock in your hands and summon up all of your strength. Then just pull as hard as you can. I believe in you, Gregor. You can do this.
You know what, Skullbreaker? You're right. And Gregor's gonna try and break the lock. Well, actually, before Gregor tries to break the lock, Gregor's gonna be smart, and Gregor's gonna look around.
Is he? Okay. Do you wanna use your last question?
Bad time there. Sure, I think I just need to find it. 'Twas a time ago.
So the questions.
Oh, here we are. Found it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll just steal somebody else's.
And feel free to stretch the questions. It doesn't have to be
Sure.
exactly the thing. You can ask the question and then say, what I'm actually wondering is...
You know what here is not what it appears to be.
Ooh. Interesting. Here is not what it appears to be. Huh. I think the armory itself is pretty straightforward. It's a place where they keep weapons. Certainly, it didn't used to have a lock on it, and it certainly wasn't this fortified when you were here last. But you suspect that people like Olga, sort of Bruno's seconds, have keys to the armory. I think what isn't right is actually that you see one of the lookouts on the wall, like lean or at there's like an outpost next to the wall, lean over the railing and start talking to someone outside the fortress. And things are not as serene as they appear to be. Something is afoot.
Yeah, that'll immediately get Gregor's attention, and he'll try to listen in.
Okay, you're gonna have to walk closer.
Gregor walks closer.
Okay. Gregor, what did I just tell you? And you get over near this this outpost, this sort of rickety tower. Theon, Felda, they're not back. They should have been back 30 minutes ago. What are you talking about? They're not back. I'm telling you, they're not back. They haven't reported in. Fuck. Okay. Well, tell the others. I'll tell Bruno. Are you sure? I mean, maybe they're just late. This late? Really? You think Bruno wants to hear that, oh, we just thought they were late? Fine. Fine, I'll tell the others. Go. And then the person comes back over the railing and starts climbing down the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
She nods at you, sort of nervously as she walks past and walks briskly
Before
toward the
she
hall.
goes, if I can, you're like, hey,
Yes.
listen, you nervous about talking to the big guy?
No. Yeah, no. I should really be going. This is sort of
Listen.
time sensitive.
You seem busy. How about I go tell him?
She looks up at the tower. Is this a parlay? Do you have leverage here? Let's see. Where is parlay?
Don't worry, I'm tight with the big guy. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, you clearly have an opportunity. No, I think this is Defy Danger. I think this is Defy Danger with Charm and Social Grace.
All right.
And the danger is that she's just going to turn you down, right? She's just going to go.
Okay.
Oof. Yeah, well, mark
Ooh.
experience. And she's like, I should really, I don't want to have to explain this to you and then, okay, bye.
And don't let me stop you.
And she hurries off toward the hall. What do you do?
Gregor will look up with a distant gaze. And he'll kind of wonder, kind of be hopeful about it, but isn't sure, but he thinks trouble might be brewing and that might be a good thing for
Yeah, and I think we hear very faintly, Gregor, you have a task at hand? Gregor, focus.
Gregor will think to scare. Hey buddy, just hang
oh,
out for
Adam
a
turned into a robot.
Hello? Am I human now?
I can okay, I think Discord's coming through. You're frozen in Zoom with a great expression.
Oh.
But I think I'm getting your voice, so we'll keep on. Oh,
All right.
oh, I see your face. It's moving. Magic. All right.
Hey. Oh, so Gregor will say, "Just hold off a second, buddy. I might have a plan."
That sounds dangerous, Gregor. You should really consult me about these things.
Don't worry, I'll keep looking around, but I think we might get a chance to get out of here.
And as you say that, the front doors to the hall burst open, and you see Bruno stride out in all of his many feet of demonic glory, and you see him casting a glance around, and he just starts shouting at people to move and giving people orders, and his voice carries across the entirety of this fortress. And then he turns a baleful glance toward the gate, and fire erupts from the tips of his hands and sort of crawls up both of his arms. And we cut to Arrow and Vori, who are just walking calmly down the path. And
Sure, to see here, friends.
And you're walking along, and you the trees part a bit, and you can see a short ways away a palisade wall, which is perhaps not what you were expecting to encounter here. And as you see this, you hear a horn call out. And the sound of shouting from the forest off to either side of you, and behind you as well. What do you do?
Sounds like they know we're here.
Well, that was kind of the point. Might as well
Right.
push forward.
Indeed. We should maybe consider looking more threatening than we do.
It's hard to carry a person and draw my bow.
Right. Fire. It's like, fine, I'll do it.
You be the intimidating one. Your hair looks beautiful. You spent 2.5 hours braiding it this morning.
Go ahead and roll Burning Brand.
Do you know how long it takes to get that perfect lion tail going? You have no idea.
You nailed it. No, it looks great. I'm really proud of you today.
Thank you.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. All right, so you get to choose one. Will you be removing dangerous again?
I mean, to be honest, I feel like dangerous is a good one to have right now.
Okay.
I'm going to add throne.
Okay. Thrown and near. So you
Yes,
you
thrown
conjure
and-
these javelins again.
Yeah.
And the gate to this fortress sort of begins to swing open slowly, and then suddenly, as this enormous 6.5 foot, 8 foot tall, this demonic figure that is growing as he strides toward you just pushes these two heavy tree trunk doors open. His hands forming like lines of fire along his veins and up his arms. What do you do?
Big boy's charging us?
He's not.
I mean,
he's storming out the gate, but he's not directly charging you yet.
Does he look like he's on the attack, or does he just look mad?
Can we read his vibe?
Yeah, that'd be a discern.
Vibe.
One of you can discern realities. Let's say
Wait.
Arrow, because Arrow is
Yeah,
at
yeah,
least
yeah.
capable of actually interacting.
For sure. I got this. A 12.
All right. Go ahead next.
What is about to happen?
What's about to happen is you are about to be surrounded by many armed, angry people who are going to want some fucking answers.
Who's really in control here? And if you
Bruno.
don't say me and
Bruno could snap either of you like a twig.
That's cool.
how hard is his head? Like, do you think it's a fucking arrow?
I don't know, but fire might work.
Yeah, a fiery arrow would work. What here is useful or valuable to me? Meaning, like, is there a stance that we can take that's gonna be beneficial to us,
Yeah.
basically?
How can we get leverage?
How can we
is
get
the
leverage
question.
in this situation? Yeah, can we?
Your best leverage, I think, is wasting time. I think you can see past, like, into the fortress. You can see Farron there.
Oh.
So you know that they're here.
Friend.
And your best bet isn't going to be taking this head on. It's going to be creating some kind of an opportunity, biding your time and looking for an option or making an opportunity for Farron.
Okay.
Can we have talked about something previously before this moment?
Sure.
Like a plan?
Because I think that, so I did something very cool here. And I shot this girl with her own arrow.
You did.
Okay.
Which makes it seem like maybe
Betrayal.
we didn't do it.
There's betrayal from within.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I like this. Yeah.
So yes,
Yeah.
we,
so
we found this girl
we
along the
found
road.
her. Yeah. We found her in a scuffle and we saved her from her attacker.
From this other guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Seems fair.
Yeah. So we talked
well-
about that. previously.
Or he just looks scared and on the defensive at this point, hence why the fire. It's not a
Yeah.
I mean, it's a ah!
And I've got a girl over my shoulders who is wearing your clothes.
Yeah.
So we're just standing.
So
Put another hand up.
Bruno takes several large steps. Now that he is taller than the palisade wall. He is capped out at a mean 9 feet tall.
Oh Jesus.
Okay.
And he stops there and bellows out, the undergrowth, like the brush shaking with the sound of his voice. Who are you and what brings you here?
I'm Arrow.
L'Oreal.
Tori. We found one of yours in the woods. And he just kind of like gestures to the girl that's over his shoulder.
As you do so and you like look around, you can see that there are probably 10 people that have pulled in from the surrounding forest. The remainder of the scouts.
I'm not trying to like rush you, but she was shot and she'll probably die if she doesn't get some kind of attention.
If she's happens to be bleeding out, we might want to solve that problem quickly.
I think that's a defy danger from Arrow, and Ivori would like to help.
Oh, help me. Help me, please, because I am bad at this.
We can swap those. We can swap those. I'll be kind.
Is
Can
that
okay, I will help.
well? But is that defy danger or is that parlay?
You don't have leverage here.
Yes, we do.
What is your leverage?
What is she?
I'll kill her. No, I'll help you. Okay. Aid. 5, I fail.
Oof. Yeah, you're not helping. You're just
Well, I'm
facing
just
whatever
in trouble if you.
consequences.
Yeah.
All right, so blah.
Nice.
I'm so proud of you.
I can talk
Okay.
nice sometimes, everybody.
So I think Bruno just sort of isn't buying this compassion from Arrow. Like Arrow is sort of deadpan in general
Yeah.
and not.
Fori's a little more convincing.
Yeah. And so like taking in what Arrow is saying, Bruno isn't super buying it. And then when you're like, hurry it up, I think you have enough earnest
Sure.
feeling in your tone that he calms down a little bit, and you see like the fire like runs back down his arms and fades, and as he walks towards you, it's like he's not actually getting closer necessarily. But what is actually happening is he's becoming his usual 6.5 feet as he approaches.
Cool.
It's extremely disorienting.
His bones. Look at his bones. That's what I'm thinking.
And-
Right. You should
Look at
take
those
care
weird
of
bones.
her.
Never seen bones like that.
And he holds out his arms. Felda, hand her to me.
I do.
Okay, and he'll take her and turn away, and without looking back towards you, he'll say, "Take them. Take their weapons.
No.
We will speak later."
They can try to take my weapon if they
You
want.
just like
I
hold
wouldn't
up your
recommend
hands
it.
and your spears disappear.
Yeah.
Oof.
Would you
And-
like them?
I think actually somebody does like reach out. And it's like, fuck.
He just lets them go and they vanish.
Yeah, and he sort of like awkwardly holds a sword towards you, like trying to save some face and be like, "I'm dangerous."
He does have Farron's rapier,
That's
so
true.
he'll hand that over and just be like, "Ah, I was kidding.
Okay.
Just a cheap trick."
And,
Arrow is extremely reluctant to let go of his weapon.
Farron, you can actually. I think you're at this point. You're like in the center of the fortress, and you can see all of this happening out the front door, and you see Vori hand your rapier over to these people, but Arrow like holding onto his bow. I think there's someone like gingerly reaching for it.
Why did I need it? Don't want to give it to them.
Arrow. Just cooperate. All right? For
Okay,
now.
fine. I will hand over my bow and my arrows and nothing more.
They do not check super thoroughly.
Thank
Cool.
God.
Um,
Don't
so you
touch
can
me.
you can maintain the rest of your armament under your cloak, and yeah, they'll take your bow and your quiver and then this rapier, and they just sort of like hand it off to this kid who's like maybe 12. I'm like, here,
Careful with that.
this is the responsibility you get. And the rest of them, and the rest of them range from like 16 to like 28. And like all 10 of them will lead you inside very nervously. As Bruno walks in, he'll call for you, Farron. Farron, your services are required.
All right. Go along.
And the two of you, as you're brought in, you see Farron like peel away from you and off into the building after Bruno. You're not really close enough to. You're not in like speaking distance. You could shout maybe if you really wanted to.
I think if Farron looked at Arrow, you would think that Arrow did not recognize you. Because he's not even like giving you the time of day.
Wow.
Listen, you gotta play this shit cool, man.
Before you take any notice of recognizing, he won't react unless someone points out that, like, if someone recognized that the weapon belonged to Farron, then sure.
No. No, Olga, I think, is watching from a distance with her arms crossed, so she's not close enough to really pick up on that right now. The two of you are being led off to the side toward, there's the excavated area that I mentioned earlier, the sort of jail area. And Gregor, you see the two of them get led in, like Bruno walk in with this injured woman, and then the two of them get led in by like a significant retinue of bandits.
Ooh-wee,
And you're sort of like off to the side over by the armory, so I don't know that they would see you immediately, but you're catching all of this.
yeah, Gregor is gonna watch all of this. But I guess at least seeing that the two of them are in immediate danger, hopefully, Gregor's gonna stay right where he is.
Yeah, they're being brought inside instead of left outside as corpses, so
So that's nice.
that's
That's
yeah.
a plus.
Could be worse.
I hate not having my things.
And
Where are my things?
I could never be disarmed.
I think actually the 12-year-old that got handed the weapons is coming toward you, Gregor, like toward the armory.
You better take good care of that.
Gregor's just going to, like, try to casually make his way along and, like, try to stop and look as interested as naturally as possible, but not like to give away, like, hey, I know these.
Right.
What are my fellow bandits bringing today?
Yeah. Greetings,
Most
fellow
obvious
bandits.
rubbernecking.
Are we? Is this a murder that we're doing? No, this is kidnapping. Okay.
My other favorite.
It's
My
like
second favorite shenanigans.
it's like those vines of the guy that are like, oh yeah, I love me. Oh, there's no music playing. Oh, okay. It's that, but with
Guy who doesn't
banditry.
know what music is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gregor's not going to stand in this kid's way. Let him do his thing.
So I think the last thing the two of you see as you're led down into this recessed area is actually you catch a glimpse of Gregor like feigning interest. Maybe not too well, but like it's working.
Sure. That's good enough for them, so.
And down in this sort of muddy pit, there's there's an iron cage, essentially. One large iron cage set in this area. And they open a door. I think Olga actually comes down. She's this very mean-looking, very muscular woman with a mean scar running across her face. And she unlocks the gate and lets the rest of people just sort of push you in. And she'll lock it behind you.
Well, now my day's complete. We've been kidnapped, and at least there's a beautiful woman nearby. Lucky me.
Enjoy your stay.
Thank you, darling.
And she'll, like, walk away. The 10 scouts are just sort of, like, staying a little ways off, gawking at you, before Olga shouts at them, "Get back to your posts!" And they all sort of scatter. The two of you are left in this cage. And it's the two of you, and there's a figure sort of huddled in the far corner from the door, with a cloak pulled around them.
How far apart are the bars? Just out of curiosity.
It's a lattice work, so it's
Okay.
not just bars. It's crisscross, and there's probably like you could reach a hand out.
Mm-hmm. How tall is it?
Probably not very tall because that would take a lot of material. Like 5 feet tall, maybe.
Is it open at the top?
No. It
Okay.
goes back to lattice at the top.
Just curious.
It's like monkey bars.
For reasons. Yeah. Arrow just stands there and hates it and looks like he hates it.
Harrow is in his least favorite situation. Where he's like, I haven't been in a cage in a while. This is new-ish.
Walk over to the other person, keeping a kind of distance from them.
Okay, they look up around the edge, like just the very edge of their hood, as they hear you approach, and then like pull away and like pull the hood closer.
Who are you?
I am Anika. Who are you?
Arrow? What are you doing in here?
I'm imprisoned like you. What do you think?
No, I know, but like, why?
I do not wish to talk about it.
Well, in fairness, it's not like they had a reason to imprison us either.
I guess we'll just wait, huh? We don't really have another option.
Well, how many people are nearby around?
How many people are nearby?
What's the
0.
What's the situation here?
It's the 3 of you, essentially unsupervised.
Oh.
Sweet. Can I try
Well,
to
the parents are away.
Can I try to melt the cage bars door? Something. Just burn this shit down.
You can. In fact, I believe you specifically have a move for it.
I sure as shit do. Handcrafted. I would like to hand uncraft this lock.
You can turn it into something else as you do so, if you would like.
Oh, okay.
Can you make it into a new bow for me?
Probably. It might take a while though.
I think a bow's gonna be difficult.
Yeah, you need too
but-
much.
I'd
make
let
it a
you roll for
crowbar.
it. I'd let you roll for it. It just
Okay.
probably wouldn't be a particularly good bow.
Sure.
Hey, any bow in my hand is a good bow.
All right. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I guess I can try to craft. So it's here. I don't know. It's weird. This is just the info stuff.
All right. Yeah, you may use your hands in place of tools and fire to craft metal objects, mundane weapons, armor, metal and jewelry can be formed with their raw components. You may unmake things as well. But to do so without time and safety might require you to defy danger first. Yeah, so this is without time and safety. So
Sure.
I think we'll have you roll a defy danger, and I mean, the danger here is fire, so I think it's probably enduring,
Okay.
right? Because you
That's
need to
fair.
endure the heat.
Yeah, trying to do that in close quarters is a little challenging, I would imagine.
Um,
All right.
And I think as you set to work on this lattice work, and we see like the fire jetting out of your hands and like warping across the metal, it does. Ooh, mark experience. It does burn you. So you're going
Ow.
to take 2 more damage and go down to 12, I believe.
Yeah.
As this happens, the figure in the corner like looks over and starts to stand up. What are you doing?
Trying to get us out? What does it look like I'm doing?
What is your plan for once we are out of here? Out of here?
Find a place to get properly armed for those of us who need it, and then get our friends and leave.
She looks nervously between the two of you, and as she stands up now, you can see her more clearly. She has ash gray skin and brilliant gold eyes, and a pair of horns have sprouted from her forehead, and they curve up a little bit and then straight back.
Oh my.
And when she notices that you've sort of caught on to her, she pulls the cloak closer again. Please, pay me no mind. Keep doing what you're doing.
No, just call me curious. How did you... Were you always like that?
No. I was like you, but without the magic. Well, not fire. Anyway,
Lucky you.
right. Lucky me.
Well-
And at this point, go ahead and roll your. I'm not going to use your first roll on the
Yeah, because
thing,
that was.
because you were just getting the text into chat.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll your handcrafted.
Handcrafted. Boop.
Nice. Okay. So this bow isn't good. It does like take a significant section of like you'd get the lock and the door hinges and a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, basically like ripped off that whole chunk of the door.
So you got your way out. But this bow is gonna be if you use this arrow, you're gonna be at a -2 ongoing with the bow specifically. Other stuff you're fine, but just your volleys and whatnot with this aren't gonna be great.
Could I improve it by 1 with any of my adventuring gear? Like better
I think
string,
like a spare
better grip?
bowstring. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can do.
What
Well,
have
it's
you-
not the best, but it might
better
work
than
until
nothing.
we can get you the real thing.
It'll do. There's plenty of rocks around.
So it's a giant slingshot, is what you're saying. Good. Good enough.
I
I
am
think
better
maybe
with this than with
you
the
could
slingshot.
fashion some like steel or some iron arrows.
Yeah.
That are just like long slivers of iron.
He probably did at least like a handful of those for
Yeah.
part of it for arrow. Because what good is a bow without arrows?
Yeah. Who
Right.
who are you?
I'm Voriel. He's Arrow.
No, but who are you? Why are you
Nobody
here?
really.
We have friends here. We're just here to get them and go.
Exactly.
You can come with us if you want.
The door is open. You're free to leave.
She shrinks back a little at the implication. Can you just roll me a charisma check, Arrow? 'Cause I don't think this is a move. I'm just curious.
You bet. Sure.
I'm
very
advocating
good at
decision-making.
charisma.
You are.
I was gonna say.
Not really. Yeah,
No.
you don't mark XP for that because it's not a move.
Then there should be no consequences.
No, there aren't any really.
Okay.
Are, Are you sure? Oh, yeah.
Look, if you want to stay here, we're not going to stop you, but it seems a bit silly, don't you think?
I'll grab one of my daggers that I stole from that guy.
Uh-huh.
And
Like
just,
out
like-
of your boot.
Yeah, and just throw it down like at her feet.
She picks it up, and you see that she recognizes it.
Mm-hmm.
And you see some of the tension drain from her posture. Okay. I will go with you. It is safer than staying here.
Smart. All right, let's go. He's gonna step
Gregor
out.
was the closest, so that's the way that and was towards the way that we saw our weapons go. So that's the way that Arrow would probably want to go.
Yeah, same.
So
Mhm.
we are at the top of the hour.
Oh fuck.
So I think we see the three of you starting to like move out of like swing this charred door open and step out. And as you look both ways to decide which way to leave this pit, we are going to go to our third and final break of the night. And when we get back, we're going to see Prison Break Kalimba edition.
We're gonna bust out of this place.
We're gonna see how this party finds its way out of this. See you soon.
Via death.
Welcome back to the final hour of episode 11 of From Dust. Gregor, you saw your friends get led down into sort of this jail pit. Where did you go from there? Farron has gone off into the main hall. The other two are down in jail.
Yeah, so Gregor would be keeping an eye out on them as distantly and as covertly as possible.
Okay, so you're just sort of posting up and... Because you can't see down into the jail from a distance because it's down and lowered into
Gotcha.
the
Would it
the
be
ground.
very obvious for him to move any closer, though? I guess into this pit, or...
People seem to be giving you the benefit of the doubt. Just in general.
Good old fellow bandits. All right. In that case, yeah, Gregor's gonna move a little bit closer then.
Okay. So, Gregor, you walk toward this pit, and, Arrow, as you're reaching the edge of the pit, you hear footsteps moving toward you. What do you do?
Arrow up.
Alright, so you, like, get ready and knock an
Yeah.
arrow and...
Yeah.
Okay. Gregor, you come up on... There's a ramp on each end that leads down into the pit. You come to one of these ramps and turn the corner, and there is the most jagged-looking piece of definitely going to give you tetanus iron just pointed directly at you.
Like, trying not to shout, but also, like, hey, don't shoot me. Just like...
Yeah, you, like, hold up your hands, and somebody looks at you weird, and you, like, go back to standing normally.
We were looking for you.
Hello, Gregor.
I really appreciate that, guys.
Where's our stuff? Where's my stuff?
Probably in the armory, but
We are not killing this man.
No,
No.
No.
This is one of ours.
he's one of the ones we were
the
trying
second Gregor sees her, to be like, yes.
She looks at you sort of oddly.
Okay. All right.
Make it quick.
This is great. We're all here. We can finally get out of here. We need to bring her with us. She's
Yeah.
got answers and stuff.
She's with us.
She steps
that's
back.
Sort of the plan.
Cool. Excellent.
worry.
Anyway, long story. Bandits, demon stuff. The big
Yes,
one
yes.
made Farron kind of like his plaything, so
What?
yeah, maybe I worded that wrong. He's keeping them on a short leash. And anyway, like I've been trying to keep an eye out, seeing how I could get Farron out of here without
gods.
hurting them, but this is a lot better now, so
Yes, you probably shouldn't try to make plans. I don't expect you're very good at it.
Yes, so this is why I'm very happy to see you. Anyway,
Where is he?
I'm gonna head back to the armory. I'm gonna open this armory so that you guys, well, you, Arrow, can get your stuff. Maybe we'll find something else helpful in there.
Should we come with you?
At least not near me. Listen, these guys are kind of cool with me, but it's a long story. I wouldn't do anything too suspicious, so how about I go ahead and you just come join me in a bit.
All right, well, we'll find our way there.
And if it's not safe, I'll give some kind of signal. I'll make it up on the fly.
Can you whistle?
Let's actually think of a signal that we can read as a signal before you do that, because otherwise
Please don't. We're just like, why is he yelling? Like, what's going on? Is this the signal? We don't know.
I'm gonna cough. I'm gonna have like a coughing fit. I'm really good at it.
How about just
But what if you actually needed to cough?
two coughs?
Well, no, that'll just be a normal cough. I'm not sick or anything. But they don't know that. So listen for big, long coughs.
All right.
A show. Something that seems like a signal.
Exactly.
We're going
You
to
guys
keep
are
having
smart.
fun.
I'll be right back. Or no, I won't. I'll be in the armory.
We'll see you
Yes,
in
yes,
the armory.
we'll collect you when we're ready.
And Gregor will turn and stealthily make his way to the armory.
As Gregor walks away,
Maybe
our
stealthily, not right. Naturally make his way
Right,
towards
right,
the
naturally, very naturally. Finger down.
Casually.
So cash.
It's that scene from the Spider-Man movie. You know the one.
Yes.
Our
And
camera.
Arrow and Warrior just looking at each
music
other
is
like, this is a
playing, too.
disaster. We're fucked now.
Rory's just sitting here thinking, now I understand
No.
exactly why all of what happened.
We get it. We see what happened the moment we saw Gregor again. We were like, you know what? We had some time apart and we kind of forgot how bad this was going to be.
Yeah. We didn't realize. We forgot. Yep.
Okay.
As Gregor walks away, our camera follows him until he crosses in front of the hall, and then our camera moves inside. And there we can see Farron. Bruno has laid this young woman on sort of like the big table in the center, and like cleared things aside. There are like tankards and plates on the ground. Heal her.
All right.
Olga told me you have magic. Can you do this or not?
I can certainly try. I cannot promise it'll work, but I can make an attempt.
Give it your best, for both your sakes.
Wait, what the fuck?
Farron's inner monologue again.
Farron's inner monologue is really salty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Farron's from a seaborn village, a seaborn city, so he's a salty boy.
He's a bit of a salty boy.
Boo! Show over.
Yeah. They're going to pull out their loot. We'll swing it back around. And do like a couple of like tuning plucks on it.
I asked for magic, not a song, bard.
Well, you see, for me, they're kind of one and the same.
He moves to the side and like you can see his form sort of shifting in odd ways as he's clearly like he's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Farron is just going to start humming, taking the lute and strumming. And as they do, a greenish orb of light will start to form, and I'm gonna roll that.
Yeah. Let's see how Farron does. Oh my god. I think that's maybe your second ever miss on this move. To the point where I don't actually remember what happens when you miss, so give me a second to pull that up. Go ahead and mark experience. Of course. And then...
Farron's really nervous about this.
Yeah, you don't say. Okay, Bard. Arcane Art. Oh, 7 to 9. Okay, so I think on a miss, it just doesn't work. So you like are trying to muster the magic, and I think you're nice. I think your voice is like shaking, and you can't get the right fretting on your lute, and you can't muster your magic. It's just not responding to you. And Bruno walks towards you. You still have the table between the two of you, and as he does so, he grows a half foot. What is taking you so long?
Sometimes the magic doesn't like to cooperate. Today seems to be one of those days.
Is it?
I may be able to help if we just have medical supplies. I
Go
know a bit
outside
of that.
and pick someone. And he starts pulling his jacket off. No.
Yep. Farron's gonna do what he says, because
Okay.
there's not time to argue.
So you walk very nervously, like sweating bullets out this front door, and I mean it's busy as it was yesterday. There were people going to and fro working on things. What do you do?
All right. That's a good question.
I think as you step outside and you're sort of like frozen there on the top step, you hear a voice, a familiar voice, off to your left, call out, Farron. And you see Rupert. That's your name, right? Did I get that right?
Yes, Farron. How can I help you?
Felda, is she going to be okay?
I believe Bruno is making sure of that at this point.
Is Bruno isn't... I don't quite follow.
I was asked to leave. I do not know what's going to happen here. I am sorry.
Just you?
You were told to go and pick someone, were his words.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
he may require some assistance. He actually did ask me to find somebody. If you had a moment.
Yes, of course. And I think he's like holding some like damaged armor that he was taking to go get repaired, and he just drops it at the bottom of the stairs. Right away, and he just heads up toward you. What do you do?
Okay, Farron will just open the door.
All right. You see inside, Bruno has stripped down to his breeches, his pants, basically, and there are scars in strange arcane patterns all across his chest and shoulders. And he looks over at the two of you as Rupert rushes into the room. Very well. Farron, sit. And Rupert rushes over to Felda and, like, checks on her, and, like, he pulls out, he pulls his knife and, like, holds it by her nose to see if it fogs up. Thank Asylum. Bruno, what do you need? Your knife. Oh, okay. He hands his knife to Bruno. And Bruno leans down and he becomes smaller. He comes down to about, like, 5'10", and significantly leaner. A lot of his bulk just sort of fades, and he puts one hand to Felda's cheek, and you see her eyes sort of weakly flutter open. Felda, you have been gravely wounded, but there is still a chance. And he lifts up one of her hands and presses the handle of the knife into it. Take this. I don't understand. You don't need to. All you need to do is survive. And as he says that, he's looking at you, Farron. And he reaches one arm over to Rupert, and as he does, it grows large and bulky again, and he presses Rupert down into the bench. Bruno, what's happening? I don't... Felda, take this life to keep your own. And Felda sort of, like, weakly, drearily looks toward Rupert. Farron, what do you do?
Farron is just looking over at, well, eyes going from to Rupert to Bruno. Is this really the only way? There are medical supplies somewhere.
The change will save her, and you must learn. And with that, he holds Rupert there, and Rupert's, like, struggling and trying to pull away, but clearly doesn't have the strength to do so. And Felda looks unsure between Rupert and Bruno, and then Rupert stops struggling. Fuck you, Bruno. Fuck you. Do it, Felda. And she plunges the knife into his throat. And we cut to Gregor. You have made your way back to the armory. This kid is, like, there's a little stoop at the front, like a little stone step. This 12-year-old is sitting there still holding, like, this bow and this quiver and this rapier in his arms. And he, like, stands up as you approach. Hello, sir.
Hey, kid. I don't think I caught your name.
Timon, sir.
Timon, nice. You forget where to put those?
I don't have a key. I was hoping Olga or one of the other officers, maybe Rupert, would come by.
You know what? Gregor will say, where were you posted before?
I was out in the woods. Just look out, sir.
Gotcha. Well, listen, we're interrogating those other two, but if they were smart, they would have brought in backup. So, how about you hand those off to me? I'll go find Rupert. You get back out there and let us know if you find anything.
Roll parlay, I think. And your leverage here is that you're older than this kid. Like,
I'm a man.
you have implicit power in this situation.
Oh.
Ooh.
Why now, Gregor? Why now?
Yeah, okay. So let me check. I know 7 to 9 is they need concrete. I think the miss is it just doesn't happen. Yeah, actually, so you get XP. And I know what the miss is. As you're standing here in front of this kid, but wait, isn't that them? And they're like some 30 feet off, snooping around behind the buildings. We can see Arrow and Vori and Anika.
Okay, we ain't that stupid though.
No, the rest of the compound hasn't seen you. But this kid, off to the side, has. I think you maybe didn't pick up that he was still there, past the bulk of Gregor.
Okay.
Gregor's gonna look back and go, oh yeah, they are. And is there anybody else around, visibly?
I mean, yeah, but no one looking at you.
Alright.
Punch him.
Yeah, Gregor's gonna suddenly grab this kid and cover his mouth and try to bring him, like, around the corner or something.
Okay.
And just, like, try to, like, render him unconscious.
This
Okay.
is where we are now, I guess.
He's not trying to kill
Go
the
to
kid.
sleep, little bandit. Okay. Yeah, you do it.
Oh, thank you.
He drops
Tiny.
he drops all of the gear
cool.
on the ground in front of the armory.
Awesome.
And you just he goes to sleep.
All right. Set him aside nicely. Is the lock there?
Yes.
I would like to attempt to break the lock.
All right. So as the three of you come up on Gregor, he has this lock firmly in hand. And go ahead, and I believe you have an ability called Wreck.
I pick up my
Ben-
bow, my arrows.
Or yeah, bend bars, lift gates. That's right.
Nice.
Ooh. All right. Choose 3.
All right. Definite. It does not make an inordinate amount of noise.
Good call.
It doesn't take a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really care about the other two. I don't care if it's damaged. Nothing of value is damaged. Actually, no, that could be good.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't
So
damage the lock.
you I think the lock is not of value. The lock is toast.
Okay.
But you're not like breaking something good on the inside of the door or something. You're not busting the door
Alright.
in. So we see you like grab this lock and struggle with it, and then just pop the like it's like those master lock things that I forgot padlock. There we go. You just take that metal hook off of the lock. What do you do?
I will open the door and motion the others to come join me as I go inside.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go inside. I'm gonna stand outside and watch.
Your bow is there on the floor or on the ground.
Well, I already picked it up.
Okay. Okay.
The moment it clattered to the ground, like Arrow teleported over there, was like, this is fucking mine.
Was it your
Why
greasy
would you let this
fingers?
get scuffed on the ground?
I mean,
Do a dive to catch it.
Yeah. Oh, my baby.
if we're just collecting what
my
we need
bird's
out
not
of
here.
here. If we're just collecting what we need out of here, Voria is gonna straight drag the kid in, and we're gonna lock him inside.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
snores. As you go in, Gregor, you hear a good a familiar voice. Ah, yes. Well done, Gregor. I knew you could do it. Oh, and the two of you are here as well.
Well, we've gotten everything we need. I think we can leave now. Without Skullbreaker in hand.
Do they have my
Yeah,
shield
Nidor
as
want
well?
that.
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got your
So,
shield and your hammer. Farron's rapier is on the ground outside. Inside, there are some short swords of varying quality, some spears also of varying quality. And actually, Olga's sword is here.
What is that exactly?
That is Olga's
It's a long
sword. It
sword.
is very magical and very dangerous.
Cool.
I think one of you guys should take that.
I'll take it. I don't have no weapons.
Yeah.
I need them, but
I've got a short sword, but I got my bow, so I'm
I will.
really
I will
satisfied.
carry it and not use it.
I will restock my quiver for whatever bows or whatever arrows are here.
Okay, yeah. It takes
Pile
you
them in.
a second to find some arrows that are the right length for you, but
Yeah, because these are
Um,
kids with short arms.
Also, specifically, what kind of sword is Olga's sword? Is like I'm not going to try to tote a great sword, for
it's
instance.
a long sword.
Okay. I could probably. Well, I could wear it. I don't know if I could swing it.
Yeah, I mean, what are
It
the
looks cool.
tags on a long sword? I don't quite recall. Weapons. Long sword. It's close, +1 damage, and 2 weight.
I'll just be carrying it anyway. So
Yeah,
fine.
and this particular sword, you roll twice and take the better of the rolls for damage.
well, I won't be using it, but
Yeah.
it's better than her having it.
yes, yes, because she fucked up a certain bard with that sword.
Yeah.
Um,
Looks fancy, looks important. I'm stealing it.
It's
And-
glittering in the dim light. You want it.
actually, no. If it's drawn from its scabbard, there's a blue flame that runs along its
Oh,
its edges.
then you're taking it. That belonged to you always. Since the dawn of time, that was yours.
if I remember correctly.
I literally can't use it though, but thank you.
But you'll look so cool swinging it around.
I don't need it though.
swinging
Well,
it
you
like
can
an
just-
idiot.
If we get into close combat, you can just throw it to me and I'll use it.
Sure.
So and yeah, Skullbreaker is in a pile of weapons awaiting repair.
Now's your chance to leave him behind.
Gregor,
Maybe they could fix his mouth.
I
Gregor,
mean,
you
could-
need me.
There's this very fancy sword.
You need me to guide you.
Really?
Really, I can get you out of here.
In one piece,
Mostly,
without killing
Sounds-
children.
Sounds debatable.
probably.
Huh. Skullbreaker, how can you get us out of here? With Farron.
Well, it all starts with a fire.
Well, we have that covered.
Listening.
And I think at this point we cut to Farron. And Bruno lets go of Rupert as Felda pulls the knife free. We don't see Rupert's body, we just hear him drop. What did I just do? You killed to survive. Look at me. And he like grabs her by the back of the head and forces her to make eye contact with him. Don't forget this. Hold on to it. Let it grow. You did this for yourself. I did? Yes. Without it, and he presses on the arrow, and she cries out, "Without it, you will die." And he lets her go and steps back, and as he does, you see her looking sort of back and forth between her hand holding the dagger and this arrow protruding only like an inch now from her chest. Right. And you see like her head take to the side for a moment. Hold on to it. Let it grow. Feed it. For myself. For no one else. And she like whips her head around, and you see that the wound around the arrow has closed, and she locks eyes with you, Farron. And you have seen this look once before in how do I always forget the name of the town? Rookdale, right as I'm about to say it. You've seen this look before in Rookdale. The look of a person who is gone, and who is soon to no longer be human. It's a hungry look. What do you do?
Farron will just stand up now, as they've been sitting. Try to pull themselves up. Bruno, this was not her choice at first, and not all of those transformations go in their benefit.
The weak do what they must to survive.
To lose every scrap of what it is to be human?
And what is it to be human, Farron? To be mortal.
To be connected with others in the world.
He looks disdainfully off camera toward Rupert. Connections are tools, nothing more. And as this conversation is happening between the two of you, you hear a crack, and Felda shifts uncomfortably in ways that are not fun to look at, and she cries out in surprise, "Bruno? What's happening to me?" "You have failed." What do you mean I've failed? Were you strong enough, you would stay the same. And there's a horrid, gross sound as what grew inside of Felda emerges, and you see a humanoid monster astride this table now, and it roars at Bruno, who roars back, growing to his full 9 feet, and grabs it by the head and slams it into one of the pillars of the hall, and the demon drops limp. Another failure. Thank you, Farron. This has been enlightening. You may go.
Farron will start to turn towards the door, and as they get to the door, they kind of pause and turn back. There's only so much you can do by yourself. It's the lonely throne you're going to have.
And he sits down on his stolen throne and lounges. Aye, but it is a throne.
With only as much meaning as there are other people to give meaning to it.
I don't think he answers.
Yeah, Farron just turns and leaves.
You step outside, and you see the door to the armory is open.
Oh boy. Yeah, Farron's gonna shake themselves out of bed and head towards there. That's weird.
Yeah, there are drag marks in the dirt leading to the door. It's not the least conspicuous. Skullbreaker is detailing his brilliant plan of lighting a building on the opposite side of the gate, like from opposite side of the fortress from the gate, on fire, so that everyone is distracted while all of you run out the front gate. And then there's a familiar, striking figure in the doorway.
Well, that makes things easy.
Everyone came to us.
It's
Just kind of wide-eyed looking at everybody. If we're going to leave, we have to leave now.
I think we shall do that.
That's the idea.
Ah,
So-
Farron, good of you to join us. We were just talking about our
Skullbreaker,
plan.
shut up.
Oh.
We have the plan. Thank you for your expertise and guidance. What would we ever do without you?
We double
Respect.
Gregor will quietly think to Skullbreaker it actually is a very good idea, buddy.
It's like, it's okay, buddy. Thank you.
You're doing it. You're
He'll,
fine.
You're
just,
doing amazing, sweetie.
You did it good.
just to you, Gregor, he says, well, thank you.
Let's hurry this up. I'll go take care of the fire, obviously, and the rest of you get your way out. I'll follow close behind.
Sounds good.
We do it. We do those things.
Yeah.
We do that
Okay.
stuff.
So
I have two bows now, and I want to shoot them at the same time so bad.
you cannot.
It's killing.
How does that work?
I
No.
absolutely can.
Do you have 4 arms?
I don't need 4 arms. I can hold 2 in this. I can hold
Oh
it like
my
this
God.
and draw them both back at the same time. Now, let me just back this up here with a little bit of science and facts for you. I do have a move that backs me up here, and it's blot out the sun, where I can attack multiple targets at the same time. So y'all can get wrecked. I am going to be shooting 2 bows forever from here on out.
Double bow action.
You okay, Dylan?
Can I X card that?
Me shooting
I
2
didn't-
bows at the same time?
I'm
I
okay
mean,
with-
where we were using the X card system here.
I'm okay with multiple arrows on the same bow. That is okay. Like, you can shoot 15 arrows off the same bow. I will suspend my disbelief that far, but
Legolas did it.
2 bows at the same time?
I'm pretty sure.
No. You find
He
me
could have
you
if he
find
wanted
me a,
to.
you find me a screenshot, you find me a clip, you find me something, then yes. But
will.
otherwise
Okay, so they are going to get out the front. Vori's going to find that place to go torch it because he's good at doing that and needs no fuel.
Yeah. You see a small building with 2 guards out front. That seems like a decent candidate, probably.
Yep.
Being exactly opposite the gate.
Can do that. Try to sneak around so they don't notice, and then I'm just gonna light it on fire if I get there.
Yeah, I don't think you need to roll to sneak, but I would like you to roll one of your fire-related moves. Maybe like
Sure.
Zuko style might be it. I
mean,
don't know
yeah,
your
that's-
call. You know your moves better than I do. To see what happens with all of this fire.
Sure. Zuko style's when you bend a flame to your will, which I assume is just the stuff that he summons into existence. So we're just gonna try to slap it to a building.
Okay.
I want that thing to burn forever.
How much fire did you want?
All of the fire.
All of the fire? Okay.
All of the fire.
So I think there isn't so
If
much.
I can burn down more than that building, awesome.
Yes, you can.
Cool.
I think what happens is less that you ignite the house and more that the house explodes.
Cool.
So
Friendly
like,
reminder: blue flame is hotter than orange flame
Yeah,
by a
so
lot.
the 2 guards that were playing cards out front of the house are incinerated as
Cool.
bits of burning wood shower the fortress. It's loud, so that's a pretty good signal for the rest of you, I suppose. And yeah, actually, Vori, since you're separated from the group, could you roll me a Defy Danger with Dexterity to try and like catch up to them?
Yeah. Well,
Gain XP. All right.
Yep. That's fine.
You're running across the compound as like people are rushing past you to try and like put out these fires, but Olga sees you, and as you're running, she runs and tackles you to the ground. The 2 of you hit the dirt and roll separate from each other, and
Cool.
like can pull up onto your feet. She has a dagger in hand. Nice try.
Hello, beautiful.
And she flips the dagger into a forward position and lunges for you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna
Where are we at?
try to
You're
avoid that.
over near the gate.
Can we see? If I glanced back over my shoulder.
Yes, they're like in the middle of the fortress.
Okay, I want to get a shot in there when I can.
Okay.
I'd super like to dodge the hell out of the way and then get my burning brand going so I can punch her with it.
Go ahead and just roll the burning brand, and then your
Okay.
dodging will be rolled into a hack and slash.
Whoosh.
Ooh. All right.
So I think I'll take +1 damage because I don't care if it's dangerous.
Okay. So that's this like enormous. Oh my god! It's so +1 damage is what longswords have, right? So I think it's like this enormous, like raging, fiery version of her sword, which is
'Cause-
at your hip.
Because he's definitely that kind of asshole. It's like, oh, your sword? Look!
I'm gonna kill you, fucking bastard! And
Of course
she's
you are.
going for it.
Yeah,
Harsh language,
wanna-
lady.
You wanna try and take her out
sure.
on a
Hack
date?
unts.
I mean,
Sure. I mean,
Let's
if
smooth.
he wants.
Nice.
okay. So she is getting damage in.
It's okay.
So
I have hit points to burn.
you take 2 more damage.
Oh, owie.
I mean, you're looking pretty hurt at this point. You're pretty severely damaged. As she gets this dagger like into your hip. But go ahead and roll damage.
Sure. Oh, well, I
Ooh.
did 2 damage!
You swing with the sword, and she like brings her arm up and knocks your swing aside, and that's how she gets into your guard to get the dagger
Yeah.
in there.
Awkward.
Arrow, did you want to try and shoot her? Shoot her.
Yeah, of course they did. Would you consider her defenseless or surprised?
Yes,
Or
both of those.
okay, cool. I'm gonna do a called shot then.
Okay.
Here we go.
What are you aiming for?
Her head, obviously.
Okay. Roll your damage.
Yeah, sure.
I'll see if I can get her to open her mouth.
8 damage straight to her head. Thank you.
I need a second.
And if she's not dead, she will stand and drool for a few moments.
right.
So she can just get wrecked.
Oh my god, she's not dead.
No, that's fine. There's an
you-
arrow in her head.
Yeah, you shoot this arrow.
She's a Skyrim bandit now.
She gets under your guard, Vori, and like digs the dagger into your hip, and you see this like wicked grin cross her face, and then there's a thud as this arrow like buries itself in her jaw.
Ugh.
And she pulls
It's
back.
one of those cool iron ones that you made me.
Oh,
Thank you.
awesome.
Yeah. She pulled
Gross.
back away, holding her face.
I bet
and,
he
like,
probably got a splash of blood in his face for that one.
Yeah, she's holding the dagger in front of her, trying to keep up her guard. What do you do?
Running.
All right.
I'm
yeah,
running the
she's-
fuck away. I
think
don't
she's
care
in a
about her.
position to stop you.
Nope.
Yeah,
she,
I will
like-
shoot her literally again.
She throws her dagger after you, and it lands in the dirt. Are you actually shooting her again?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. If you have an arrow stuck in your face and you're still throwing daggers at people, like you obviously want to die.
Right.
Is my
Yeah,
personal opinion.
That's how it works.
Yeah. I'll do another called shot. I
Yeah.
would say she's defenseless.
Yeah.
11.
Roll your damage.
I'll roll my damage.
Mm-hmm.
7.
Yeah.
Straight
so
to
she
the head
like
again.
ineffectually, woozily throws this dagger, and then like as she turns her body to do so, and the second arrow just goes straight into her forehead, and she's dead. So Vori, you catch up to the rest of the group. Have any of you been like trying to keep tabs on Anika during this?
I would have made sure that she was with us, but when I started
Yeah.
shooting, I probably would have,
I was gonna say, yeah.
diverted my attention. But I would like to say that Vori would be able to see if she was running away from us,
That's
being
true.
running towards us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she's still there then.
Okay.
Vori, you manage to catch up, and as you do, the I think our backing track, our music cuts as the two enormous doors to the hall fly off of their hinges and across the large open square, and Bruno steps out, and we see like as the fire begins to consume the wall too, like trees falling over between the two of you, or between the group of you and Bruno, and he calls out, "You better run far, because I will be coming for you. Put out these fires."
Have fun.
And with that, you can run.
I think we're gonna book it till we can't book it no more.
Let's run.
Yeah. So
Oh man, I just want to kill that guy so bad.
I'm pretty sure those fires are gonna be burning for a really fucking long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like years, like 20 years. It's the fire that never goes out.
Certainly possible.
we see Bruno, through this blue flame, turn away from you, back toward his people, and walk away. We see the group of you breathlessly running through the forest. And then we see the inside of the hall as the roof comes down in pieces, and we get like this sideways dolly shot as parts of it crumble in until it comes to a rest on Rupert's face. And that is the end of the episode. So,
We did it!
you did. You escaped, and none of you died. I'm so proud.
Thanks.
I mean,
I'm so proud.
Thank you.
Whew. All right. So let us do shout outs, and then I'll talk a little bit about upcoming stuff for the stream. So, to start us off, boop, boop, Summer.
Yes.
Tell us about yourself. Where can people find you, your amazing face, your amazing characters?
Thank you. Well, currently, my channel here on Twitch, Off the Table, off_the table, is on a bit of a hiatus for the holidays. We're going to be starting up most of our shows starting second week of January. So keep an eye out for everything that's coming back there. In the meantime, this coming Tuesday, we actually have a season finale of Urban Shadows, which is going to be really, really good. I'm very excited. We were going to try and do it earlier, but with me just being out of town and like schedules being hard and the holidays. So New Year's Day, we will be doing our Urban Shadows season finale. It's going to be awesome. We have a podcast that comes out. Currently, we're doing every other week until we have time to record again, just because of the holidays. Again, we had a backlog kind of built up, but we're kind of going every other week until we have a chance to like sit down and record. So that's called Tabled Hearts. It's a Monster Hearts 2 podcast. But yeah, I'm here every Saturday, either doing this shit show or Ryutama, which is a totally different kind of shit show, a very sweet shit show. But yeah, that's pretty much it for right now. I'll be posting on Twitter here in the coming week or so. Oh, one thing that I do want to mention, we actually are going to be doing a stream on the 4th at 6 PST with it's going to be a stream of For the Queen, which is a card prompt-based storytelling game, and we are playing with the creator, Alex. She is going to be facilitating it for us. So it's going to be really, really good. It's going to be a lot of fun. So stick around for that. That'll be this Friday, I think is the 4th.
Pump that shit in my veins.
Yes, it's going to be, it's high key drama. I looked through the cards and like the prompts are just, it kind of reminds me of The Quiet Year a little bit, but much more like interpersonal based, where you're answering questions about your relationship and your perceived relationships other people have with the queen as you escort her on this trip she's going on. It's really, really good. I'm very excited. So yeah, that's some stuff coming up this week.
Awesome. Also, chat, Tabled Hearts is on Spotify, so it's not even hard to find. You have no excuse not to go listen to it. Open up your Spotify, type in Tabled Hearts, and save that shit. Go. Do it.
It's getting juicy. I think like the last couple episodes that we've been putting out are just like so dang juicy. The drama is ramping up. The one we released today is like, oh my god, it's just exactly my brand. And the next one's so good. I'm so excited. I can't handle it.
Awesome.
It's also on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud. SoundCloud's free.
Hot damn.
So if you have no place else to listen to it, you can listen to it on SoundCloud. And all those links are on our Twitter.
Fuck yeah. All right. Our good slinger of fire, Jess, where can people see you slinging other things?
Slinging husbandos is apparently my thing on the internet when I'm not doing this bullshit.
You're a husbando dealer. I go to you regularly.
Listen, it's literally what Twitter voted. I did not choose this life. You chose it for me. That's not true. So you can find me on Twitter at Little Cup of Joe. Also on Twitch, same deal. Pretty much everywhere on the internet. I have an Instagram. Don't worry about it though. There's not really anything going on there. I will be doing some encounter roleplay stuff this season as per usual. You will be able to see me on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in Beyond the Mountains of Madness, which is a Call of Cthulhu campaign run by Lindy. I'm excited because it's my first time playing Call of Cthulhu, and Lindy's a super fun GM. I'm excited to lose my mind. I have some stuff that my channel is a little bit on hiatus for the TTRPG things at the moment, pending my new computer build. But come January, the Promise Tree, my Ryutama campaign, is starting back up, where 4 good childhood friends go on a journey to save their tree that got stabbed by a mysterious man in creepy armor, and they're gonna go have some JRPG
I
hijinks.
don't like him.
He's evil, but he's hot.
But I don't like him.
And I have a monthly show, a monthly Monster of the Week show, starring Dylan and Em and Julie and a friend of mine, Lynn. Done in the style of like Japanese horror adventure games, kinda.
Yeah.
But it turned into very anime bullshit when we did a one shot. So.
Yeah.
Anime Kids Hunt Yokai, the show, basically, called Kokuri-san. So that'll be coming up in January. We're bringing that back.
Yeah.
I'm here Saturdays doing this and doing Ryutama stuff. And then immediately following that on Saturdays and Sundays, I do Otome game streams on my channel.
Yes.
I'll be doing that immediately after this.
Fuck yeah. And we're back to Hakuoki tonight, right?
Yes, we're starting Hakuoki tonight. We're doing Saito's route because good, sort of shy, stoic boys are excellent.
It's true. All right. Wow. What an episode. Kiana, before you do your shoutouts, I just want to say both thank you and I'm sorry. Because this episode definitely leaned on you a lot. So, sorry. But also thank you for kicking ass.
It was good. Man, the first chance that Gregor's gonna have a look at Fran, they're gonna look real fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. That was, yep.
Well, when you're not watching your friend's friend get murdered for the sake of a
No reason.
evil guy.
For literally nothing.
For no reason whatsoever.
Literally nothing.
For literally
do
nothing.
that,
It made me so mad.
Like,
When you're not
Fran
doing
had
that, where
no
can people
idea
find you?
that he was picking out somebody to die.
I know.
Poor Vivi would have been like, okay, maybe I'll figure someone out. No, here's the convenient. God damn it. Ugh.
So, yeah, where can people find you?
You can find me over on Twitter. It's the best way to figure out what I'm doing because I'm all over the internet playing role-playing games almost every day of the week. However, my 2019 stuff will be announced very soon. I have a couple of shows I can't talk about yet, and it's driving me insane. But those will be up soon enough. I'm gonna poke my GMs. Hey, please, can't talk about it yet. So yeah, check on my Twitter for those. As well, I'm doing a series of Bluebeard's Bride one-shots, where essentially we get to explore several tales of feminine horror and see what is lying in Bluebeard's house. We've done Volume 1 and 2 already, which have been amazing. Volume 3 is on January 4th with some really awesome people, so go check that out. And I'm already scheduling Volume 4 and 5 in the new year, so that'll also be great. And I'll open up applications again for that game after I've figured out the scheduling for this, because it's been super fun and I really enjoyed playing it. And yeah, can't wait for next time we play this, because Farron's gonna be in an interesting mood.
Ooh, our poor boy, our poor boy.
Poor Sparkle Bar did not sign up for this.
Yeah. I mean, at least you're not imprisoned anymore, so there's that.
They're not dead and they're not imprisoned, and all their friends are okay. They're just gonna get hunted down by a terrifying demon. No biggie.
Fine. It's fine. everybody's favorite super sneaky fighter, Adam. Where can people find you?
Hi guys, you can find me on Twitter at AdamRoVO and .com/AdamRo. I do voiceover. I talk about tabletop stuff on my YouTubes, and I haven't gotten to do a lot of either of those things in the holiday season, but I'm very much hoping to turn that around and put out a lot more with the coming new year.
Awesome. Well, I am happy to have not killed you tonight. And also I'm very excited to see what you come out with soon. Yeah, so hello, I'm Dylan. This is my channel. You can find me here frequently. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube as well at Anarsis. VODs from this channel are edited and uploaded to YouTube. Not super swiftly because I am a busy person and it takes a lot of time to do some of that stuff. But you can find past episodes there. This show will be returning in 2 weeks. A week from tonight, at 5 Pacific, we will be having more travel. If you want a palate cleanser from tonight, you can catch previous episodes on YouTube, or wait a week and watch our next episode then. On Tuesday at noon Pacific, I will be over on Pro Restarter's channel for more Apocalypse World with the new Eden game over there, where you can see me as a player, strangely, playing a gun lugger who's a mercenary who just wants the desert to be for good people instead of people that want to hurt everyone. And he's slowly running out of rope, so we'll see how that works. Later in the day, because it's January the 1st, woo! Later in that day, at 5 Pacific, will be the premiere of Roll Plus Mod, which is replacing the League as my D&D show on the channel. We are going to be playing it's a module-focused show where we play D&D with pre-written modules and hardcovers. We are diving straight back into Tomb of Annihilation with the cast from the League. That's Sir Lucian, PB Plays Inside, Nomadic, and Nox Noctua, who are all fantastic. And because we are no longer fettered by the Adventurers League rules, you can expect a lot more awesome roleplay from them because they kick ass at it. You'll see a lot more actually getting to trade items and a lot more creative problem solving as some of those restrictions fall away. So if you miss the League, definitely come watch Roll Plus Mod. If you were like not super into the whole Adventurers League aspect of the League, definitely come watch Roll Plus Mod because it's going to be A++ good times and hijinks. After that, on Wednesday, I will be playing more I Am Setsuna, but the important thing that you may notice as I talk about January is that I am streaming every single day in January. I don't have a set schedule. I'm not trying to stick to that, so it's going to be a little all over the place. I highly recommend you follow me on Twitter because I will always share updates for when I am going live, what I am playing. I have a large library of games that I want to get through. I also just got a bunch of new ones through the Steam Winter Sale, and I will theoretically, when Amazon gets my boxes to me, I will have an upgraded computer soon, so I will hopefully be able to play some newer titles, like some of the Assassin's Creed games, for example. So I'm going to be trying a lot of different stuff in January, but I will, including some creative streams here and there, but I will be trying to stream, or I will be streaming at least 1 hour every day in January. From rain or shine, if I become horribly sick, if my power goes out and I have to do an IRL stream from my phone, we will have a stream every day in January. So, I look forward to seeing y'all then. I hope you had a wonderful night. But most importantly, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night. Good night.